Take WMLN on the go no matter where you go. Thanks to our app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Whether it's the copier jam or the traffic jam, you can still take WMLN with you wherever you go.
Pombo and Milliken. Tuesdays, 4 to 7. Talking baseball, basketball, and football with just a little soccer and MMA in the mix. WMLN 91.5, Milton, Boston.
All right, Pombo Milliken back for the first time. It's been, 2 weeks?
For 2 weeks, yep.
Gosh, we're awful. It wasn't our fault, guys, I promise. First part, what happened?
First part wasn't our fault. The second one was.
What was the second one? Was that last?
Parade.
Yes. Listen, you guys got to understand on that one. Jason, I think you came in and did the shift still, right?
I did.
Jason's a real one, so I went to the parade. I made Jason suffer, but,
It was by choice. It was by choice.
Yes, and, when you have a great internship like Jason has, sometimes you got to let other folk have fun, man.
Yeah.
It just be like that. So let's get right into it because we're already a couple weeks late here. Super Bowl, Rams, Patriots. Yes, what happened, Ben?
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's play it through.
And the Patriots have won their 6th Super Bowl title. We're champs, man. We're champs. All right. We go, champs. We're champs.
How does that not get you excited, man? That is amazing.
It's a great clip.
Yes. So obviously the storyline a lot of people were talking about in the Super Bowl, it wasn't a fun game. I personally enjoyed it. I
enjoyed it.
It was one of those games where if you're not a casual fan, you keep up with the sport weekly, you watch every game. It was just a struggle. And who doesn't like watching your punters go back and forth?
Yeah, it was a battle of special teams.
But overall, I think one of the bigger storylines we talked about on our last show was Tom Brady, what this game meant for his legacy. By no means was it his best Super Bowl performance. The guy had a 25.8 QBR, but he did his job. He did enough. And at this point, he's a 41-year-old quarterback. Can you be upset?
Not at all.
No.
You just won the Super Bowl.
Exactly. You won the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. Edelman and Brady in Disney World the next day.
Yep.
Come on. And going to the parade and seeing it, I got to admit, I think I enjoyed it more than the last one.
Did you?
Yeah, it was, I don't know. Maybe it was the whole thought process, at the time, still rumors were up about Gronk retiring and different stuff like that. But it felt a little more solidified back then. I know a report came out today that he's been at the facility, but that can mean multiple things. But just seeing Jules after, the 4-game suspension he had this year and all the struggles, it just felt right. It felt like one of those things where for once it was not that easy of a season. There were doubts, so it felt good to get that stress off of you.
We doubted him for sure.
Easy. Bro, I think at one point I had them out first round.
I didn't have him out first round.
No, you didn't.
I had him at least going to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
But back on Edelman, 10 catches, 141 yards, 12 targets, along of 27-yard reception. He was awesome. He was the only receiver that was able to generate separation, only receiver able to generate just the whole probably moving the chains, just that kind of thing. He was awesome. Other than Edelman, the second highest from a receiver standpoint was Patterson with 2 catches of 14 yards.
Yeah. Obviously, Gronk on the receiving end did have 6 catches for 87 yards. One of the bigger catches later in the game. But what continues to stick out, Edelman, listen, we destroyed him probably more than any other Patriot this year.
We
for
said
him looking slow.
Yeah, we were wrong.
Listen, do I think Julian Edelman's going to come back next year and be insane? No.
You don't think so?
This is one of those games I think he kicked it up. It was, things are coming down to the end. It may not be this year. It might be the next year or the one after that. But this is legacy stuff. And there's not too many things that can erase a PED suspension. This is it. When was the last time you saw a player get busted for PEDs in a season and by the end of the year they're talking about, now he's a Hall of Famer?
Nobody.
And I think that's what continues to stand through. I didn't consider Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer before this season. Did you?
No, I think even now he's not, but he's in the conversation.
And I think that's the game changer there. And Edelman's one of those guys, he's a gamer, which makes me feel like a lot of people are going to lean his way.
Fights for first downs. He's somebody. He was a quarterback in college. Everybody forgets that.
Hey, he played against Sean McVay in college.
Exactly. He had to learn the position. He's learned just how to run routes, how to make plays, how to get first downs. He's been awesome. He had a good season. Obviously, he suspended the first 4 games, but for the most part, he was healthy. He was consistent. And without him, the Patriots do not win this game.
Yeah, and, he had some of the best clips. You could see how much on the sideline, this wasn't the Super Bowl itself, but you're too old, like all those different moments. You could feel it felt like he was the spirit of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The guy pushing everyone through. And you look back to last year when they lost and Edelman was down, that seems to be one of the big differences. A lot of people said the Patriots that past year didn't have the same fight you saw in other years. Hey, well, here it came. Overall, Patriots defense, we got to talk about them because they held the Rams to 3 points. Brandon Cooks, yes, on the stats himself, he had 8 catches for 120 yards.
He's soft.
Yes, exactly. We all remember in the back of the end zone, McCourty comes up, knocks the ball out. Brandon Cooks just sitting there, open for almost
he's soft.
3-4 seconds.
I'm not a Brandon Cooks guy. He was really never. He didn't even get touched on the one. It was the last drive of the game.
Yep.
And they kicked the field goal and they missed it.
Yeah.
But I think Cooks had that catch right before it. He didn't get touched. He could have got up and ran. But
yeah.
He didn't.
Brandon Cooks, he has kind of the Brandon Lloyd mindset where it's like the ball hits your hands, you fall down.
Yes, exactly.
And with Brandon Cooks, I think we said 2 weeks ago, we both didn't think he was going to have a big game here. The 120 yards are great, but the catches weren't big catches, and that's what continues to stand still. He had the moment to go and try to win the game. Jason McCourty comes up. Jason McCourty is not an elite corner.
That great play where he ran about 25 yards, tracked Cooks down, and
just knocked it out.
Knocked it out, yep.
And Brandon Cooks wasn't a second where he even had a good handle on the ball after that. Once Jason got there, he just knocked it, no problem. Robert Woods, 5 catches for 70 yards. He seemed to kind of be the security blanket go-to. But Todd Gurley, useless. Running and receiving.
Barely on the field.
Yeah. And
I think he played 60% of the snaps. 10 carries, 35 yards. He had a long as 16.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Something's not right about that entire situation. It's pretty obvious.
You think he was hurt? Wouldn't you think they admitted if he was hurt?
Yeah, I don't. I
agree.
I think we both said we didn't think he was hurt before.
I don't think he was.
No,
I think it was from a scheming standpoint.
Agree. I think it's scheming, and I think sometimes with big running backs like Todd Gurley, you get stuffed on the first few runs of the game, and that sets the tone for the rest. You can't bounce back. Todd Gurley's been one of those guys where very up and down throughout his career. He had a really great season coming in, rough season. He was dealing with injuries throughout that whole time too. Sometimes you're just not strong enough to bounce back. And with Todd Gurley, I think this kind of might say something. Do I think he gets traded? Do I think something happens to him?
I don't think so.
No. But I do think this becomes a story you got to follow into next year.
Exactly, because now you're at the point where how is he feeling with the coach? Mm-hmm. How is he feeling with the whole Rams in general? And the biggest stage, he was a non-factor. And even the stage before in the NFC Championship game.
Because C.J. Anderson was the one feeding there. You look, all this says to me is Sean McVay doesn't look at Todd Gurley like you. All right, Sean McVay totally got outcoached. 100%.
He looked clueless. He tried to get too cute. He was bad.
He sounded nervous on the mic when he was talking to Belichick before the game.
Yeah.
Yo, Bill was like, "What's good, bro?" He's like, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." Like, calm down, man. Like, you're supposed to be exchanging texts. I just picture McVay all season. Whenever he gets that text from Belichick, he types 6 different responses.
Emojis.
He's like, "Does this sound cool? Is this too many emojis?"
Asking his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, Sean McVay is gonna be a great coach in the NFL. He's gonna be very successful.
Hey, what is he, 33?
Yeah, you run into Bill Belichick, this is the stuff that happens. And for a young Rams team like this, Jared Goff, 19 for 38. He had a 13.4 QBR. He looked lost.
Goff was atrocious.
No, he was scared in the pocket. He was flinching at things that weren't even near him.
Couldn't handle the big stage. The Patriots pass rush got to him. Kyle Van Noy, Trey Flowers, they all got to him, and he was really never able to recover. He was never able to get comfortable, step up in the pocket, and make plays.
Yeah, and
kudos to the Patriots defense. Exactly.
And it was a Patriots defense, a lot of guys on that team who stepped up, who look at Danny Shelton. He was inactive, a healthy scratch at times this year, playing huge moments. He might end up getting a deal off of that alone this offseason. So, I don't know. Do I think it's one of my most memorable Super Bowl games? No. But I think what continues to stand still is this Patriots dynasty keeps getting better and better, and it's hard to guess when it's going to stop, because I don't think it stops next year.
No, I don't either. The Patriots have money to spend right now. Not including anybody they can cut or restructure. They have about $18 million in cap space. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens with Gronk. We'll see what happens with McCourty. We'll see what happens with, I think, Dwayne Allen. You can cut him. He's $5.5 million off the books right there.
Unless they rework his deal.
Yeah. They have a lot of things that they can do to spend money.
Yeah.
Not to mention, they have a lot of draft picks this year. They have, I think, 9, I believe.
Yeah.
5 in the first 3 rounds.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
So they're obviously going to go crazy in the draft. I saw, who was it? I think it was Mel Kiper had them picking quarterback at 32 in his latest mock.
Daniel Jones from Duke. Yeah. I've watched a little bit about him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a body type than an actual success, or not success, ability in my eyes.
I haven't watched enough on him. I watched a little bit Sunday night. The kid can play, but it's just
it's
different.
I hate to be this, very Ryan Mallett vibes.
You think so?
And some of the stuff. Big prototypical quarterback, has a really good arm. I don't see the touch in the feel. But who knows? I haven't watched a ton of film either. I've just watched your typical highlight videos.
So in 6 months, Brophy, is that going to be a liner when this kid Daniel Jones is the next great thing?
Stop.
Tyler just compared him to Ryan Mallett.
Hey man,
mark this.
Don't disrespect Ryan Mallett.
You just did.
No, I didn't. I just said this guy is Ryan Mallett. There's nothing disrespectful. What's wrong with Ryan Mallett, Jason Pombo?
Oh, Ryan Mallett sucks.
This poor guy, man.
Ryan Mallett sucks.
What's Ryan Mallett? We talking about?
Who is it? Oh, what's that?
The Texans.
No, the Raiders GM. What's his name now? He was on NFL Network.
Yes.
Crap.
I'm blanking. Yeah. Poor Ryan.
Ryan Mallett popped.
In every single location he's gone to. He's tried. He went to the Texans. He did his thing. He was another, what was he, a tall guy over at Baltimore
6'7".
for a bit? Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I think it was a great year. I know we're going to kind of overview the season here a little bit. I hope next season is not as stressful. That would be greatly appreciated, and I don't think it will be.
NFL, it's always stressful.
Yeah, but hey, this was a fun year. Not everything worked out, and I think one thing people always said is the Patriots don't face a ton of adversity. There you go. There's not much more than you're going to face in a year like this. Should we get into our offseason preview?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this offseason, surprisingly, the Patriots have a lot of different guys who, they're going to have to make decisions on. Some impact players, some kind of, side pieces or role players that did play a big role in this past Super Bowl. Jason, you got the list in front of you?
Yep,
I'm pulling it up.
So
right
first,
now too.
of notably, Trey Flowers.
Yes. And, there's been some different quotes coming out about each of these couple guys since the Super Bowl came to an end. And there hasn't really been one that's like doesn't sound good or kind of sounds kind of rough, which I think is one of the telltale signs. So
what do you do with Trey Flowers? Do you franchise him? Do you sign him? Do you let him walk? What do you do?
I think the Patriots, they have one franchise tag in the past 6 years?
Yep. And rumor has it Gostowski might be the person they give it to.
And I think that would be the right guy to give it to in a situation like this, even though I'm a little surprised. I've read a lot of people are kind of down on Gostowski, which pushes me off. It wasn't his best season by any means, but he's 35. We have Adam Vinatieri kicking footballs, and he's 46 out here.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Trey Flowers, do I think they go out? I do. I think that's the one contract you do have to pay for here.
So Trey Flowers, they have him listed as just a market value that he's going to cash in at 5 years, $78 million, about $15.5 a year. Would you pay him that?
I think the Patriots could probably knock it down a little bit. Don't get me wrong.
That's
great.
According to SpotTrack.com.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Trey Flowers was great this year. He was as consistent and versatile as anyone the Patriots have had, sending pressure in and doing different stuff like that.
So do you pay him?
Yes, I do pay him.
I do too.
Yeah. Trey Flowers has done so much for this Patriots team. They didn't have a strong pass rush for a really long time. Trey Flowers broke that mold. There's a lot of guys growing around him, and he looks like the next big leader.
Also,
of the
another thing to keep an eye on with the Trey Flowers situation, he shares. His agent is the same as Belichick's.
Okay.
So could that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. But I think the Patriots have had a history of not paying edge defend rushers. Chandler Jones, notably.
And they've learned from that. Look at what Chandler Jones has become.
So I think they are going to pay Trey Flowers.
Yeah.
All right. Gostowski, what do you think?
Yes. Do I think it's the franchise tag? I'm a little unsure on that. I do think they'll figure something out, though. Gostowski, he's doing so many things for the Patriots. He's become a historical piece at this point.
There was rumors that Gostowski might retire. And I still think it's a possibility.
Do you think it's a possibility for what we heard or what you told me or that person told us? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think there's a possibility.
Do you think he's going to do that?
I think there's a possibility.
Oh, my God. If he does that.
His source is decently reliable.
It is, yeah. Oh, God.
So I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes on Gostowski.
All right, moving on here. We're going to go to Tyler's guy here, Trent Brown.
Yes, with Trent Brown, I'm going to actually say no. We saw.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Trent Brown's one of those guys. I think there's going to be a pretty big bidding war on him. We saw with Nate Solder a year ago just how many people were in on him, kind of pushing money, and Solder went and broke records with the contract he got. Patriots have always been a little awkward with Trent Brown. Fortunately, Isaiah Wynn coming back healthy.
Do you think Isaiah Wynn's the left tackle next year?
I do. I think they're going to lean heavy. I think for them to use a pick like they did on Wynn, they have to go that route.
I was reading Trent Brown wants about $10 to $11 million a year. Rightfully so. He was awesome this year. If I had to guess, I think he walks.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the Patriots, I don't think they're going to make a big push for him either. I think it's kind of at the point.
You think they're comfortable with Wynn?
I do. I don't think they use that pick unless they are.
I agree. All right, how about we're going to go with 2 receivers. Well, I'm going to lump them all together, 3 of them.
Go ahead.
All right, how many, if any, come back? Patterson?
Yep.
Philip Dorsett?
Mm-hmm.
And Hogan.
Hogan, gone. I think Chris Hogan at this point, I think it's going to be retirement. I don't think it's going to be gone.
Do you think he's retired?
Dude, he can't play football. He sucks. He legitimately couldn't catch a ball in the Super Bowl. Like, the poor guy. I respect some of the big catches he's made over the year. Who do I think takes Chris Hogan's spot next year? Danny Amendola.
You've been saying it. I don't think so.
Have you seen the rumors starting to pop up?
I saw the rumors. I know he's back with his girl from Rhode Island.
What's her name? Olivia
Copo.
Yeah, what's
I recommend you should look her up, yes.
Yeah, we coming out here real quick.
Olivia's a nice lady.
They've been having fun on all their different trips, but Danny and Brady, it looks like they're going back and forth on Instagram. I'm totally down for that.
I would be too.
I think Danny's going to be here. I think he'll take Chris Hogan's role.
That's funny.
Obviously not as an outside threat, but roster.
I don't think so. I'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about other potential options. So what about Dorsett?
For Philip Dorsett, I'm going to actually say yes.
Yeah?
I think Dorsett was so underutilized this year. There's really not a market for him. I think he's carved out.
He's young. He's only 26.
Mm-hmm. I think he's carved out a nice niche with the Patriots. And for the Patriots to put someone in that role, usually the security blanket Danny Amendola role, it means they have a lot of faith in him. Obviously, with what they had to send out for Philip Dorsett as well.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yep, who a lot of people say, I don't know if he's a start.
Brissett.
Yeah, now he's kind of developed at least into a very good backup quarterback. I'm going to say yeah. I think.
What about Patterson? I want him back, and I think he will be back. I liked him returning kicks. I thought he was a good specialist. He even filled in as a halfback.
Yeah,
How many receivers could say that?
And this was his first real run at it, and he was great when he did do it.
He was awesome. Yeah.
I think the Patriots love these versatile guys.
I think he'll be back too.
100%. I think the Patriots have a lot of different things they're going to include with them. We've seen how much Josh McDaniels has fallen in love with trick plays. Cordell Patterson's legitimately made for trick plays.
All right, next one. I'm going to go with the cornerback position here.
Go ahead.
Eric Rowe.
Goodbye.
James's guy.
Get out.
And Jason McCourty.
Jason McCourty.
I think him and Devin are a combination deal at this point.
See, I'm actually, it's tough. So I think with Devin McCourty, right? Obviously, if he is fully into coming back, he's kind of walked back on his comments.
Which I don't.
You don't believe that?
Yeah, I'm going to say no right now.
I've been hearing a lot about him going into the media. Have you noticed a lot of that stuff?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I think McCourty, ultimately, I do think he'll, or I should say Devin, I don't think Jason will be here. As great as Jason.
You think Jason hangs it up? He's a little bit older than Devin.
Yes, he's what, 32? Yeah. J.C. Jackson has
I love J.C. Jackson.
Kind of took over his role at a lot of different points this season. Yep. It was great to see Jason McCourty's play in the Super Bowl. I think that's a good note for him. Get out before you ruin it.
Only other notable one is defensive tackle Malcolm Brown, who I think we both would agree that he's gone.
Yeah, 100%. He never developed in what the Patriots would hope. He was inconsistent and injury riddled. You can get out too.
Yeah, I think he's gone. So, what do you find are the biggest needs in this Patriots team going into 2019?
They need a wide receiver. I think that's why you're seeing so many of these stories right now. For people who don't understand the Josh Gordon situation,
he will be back, I think.
Yeah. So he is under contract.
He's
a
restricted free agent. Yeah, he will be back.
So are you making a prediction right here?
He will be back.
Okay. So rumors are he's going to be applying for reinstatement in May. A lot of people don't think the league's going to lean his way, but for a lot of the struggles Josh Gordon has gone, I feel like it would be a hard no. At that point, will the Patriots...
he's getting banned?
No, I don't think they ban him because at this point, this isn't a recreational use problem. This is obviously a mental health issue or addiction issue, whatever you want to frame it as. I think Josh Gordon, will he play another snap on the Patriots? I'm not sure.
I say yes.
But will he get reinstated? I will say yes.
Yeah, I think Gordon will be back. So you think the receiver position is the biggest need?
One of the bigger needs.
I'm going to go with defensive line.
Yeah,
I think you have a lot of question marks. You're losing Malcolm Brown. Trey Flowers is a free agent.
I think that's where the draft is going to go, if I'm being 100% honest.
It probably will be. I know it's deep at defensive and offensive line, so I think those two particular groups really need to be addressed. I like Adam Butler, the defensive tackle. I like Lawrence Guy.
Yep.
Danny Shelton's a free agent, like we just talked about. So they kind of need to revamp that. The linebacker group, who I've always been down with, I like that. Kyle Van Noy.
He's turned into a media personality.
Van Noy is awesome.
He sounds so stupid to me. I'm sorry.
You like Van Noy?
I like him as a player. I love watching him on the field. I think he's exciting. I think he reminds me so much of Rob Ninkovich.
He is going to be He needs to take over the Hightower role.
No, I
think eventually.
I could totally see that. He's called plays on the defensive side. I think
He's
before on the
awesome.
field, he's been kind of the manager while out there.
Hightower's been good, and you have Juwan Bentley coming back.
Exactly. And, Lawrence Guy getting healthy, obviously another piece out there. People forget how many pieces the Patriots lost throughout the year that kind of just fell out.
Juwan Bentley, Van Noy, and Hightower, that's a pretty solid linebacker group. And they have that Christian Sam guy. They drafted him last year from Arizona State. He's a 6th-round pick. He's going to be an impact player next year.
Yeah.
So that's another one to keep an eye on. Another position group I would consider to be...
Bentley was the one who missed.
I said Bentley.
No, I was going to say, I was referring to Bentley when I was talking about the guy who missed most of the year. Not Lawrence Guy,
I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
The safeties.
Just clicked when you said it.
So, Devin McCourty, obviously, he's contemplating retirement.
Yep.
Patrick Chung, he'll be back next year. He's recovering from his broken arm.
Himself on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
That saying no one else. Dude, I have a friend who has a Patrick Chung jersey.
Really?
My friend Mike Chung.
Mike Chung?
I swear. Mike Chung is his last name.
I mean, you have to. If you have the last name, you have to at that point, like him or not.
The worst part is he got it before he went to Philly.
Oh, yeah?
So he was prepared to throw it out. But he ended up keeping it, and now look at him.
Wow. It fits and all?
Yeah. He wore it to the Super Bowl.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. But the safety group, they need to be addressed. If McCourty comes back, I feel comfortable. If he doesn't, then you probably need to makeshift it. I love Landon Collins. He's a free agent from the Giants. I love him.
Well, he's very physical, and I think that would kind of serve well. Especially, bringing Pat Chung back. That could be an interesting combination. We saw how much this team fell in love with Brandon Browner a few years back.
Browner, who obviously is in jail now. But
Those kidnapping charges be crazy.
And murder. Was it a kidnap murder or something? Attempted murder.
Attempted murder, yeah.
No, he didn't kill anyone.
Allegedly. Or no, he's in jail. So it's
I know he's
allegedly.
in jail. Yes, he's in jail.
Whatever he did do, he did do.
He's in jail. That's all I know.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
I think another thing, just real quick, Jeremy Hill. There hasn't been a lot of talk about him.
He'll be back as well.
Yeah, I agree. There hasn't been a lot of talk from him since he originally tore his ACL.
But he's been traveling with the team and stuff. Even though he's obviously he was on IR this year. But no, that should help the running back core, especially that 3rd and goal, 4th and goal spots.
Yeah.
My guy Sony Michel struggled with a bit, but he came through this year.
You think Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, and Jeremy Hill? That's a pretty
solid
scary.
Core. That's a solid core. You have a lot of guys that can do multiple different things. Burkhead catch and run. James White, same thing. Sony Michel is going to develop as a pass catching back as he gets more accustomed to the Patriots system. So that's something to watch for next year.
And I think at this point, it's obvious the Patriots prefer run-style dominated offense. They're trying not limit Tom, but keep him out.
I think it's a balance.
They don't want Tom going out there to throw 40 balls anymore. It just doesn't work.
Well, they don't have the receivers to do that anymore.
Yeah, and I think the Patriots kind of like being a little different than the rest of the NFL right now. Who's all passing?
Pass heavy. They're like,
let's
no,
run.
Screw you.
Let's make it tough. Let's go back to the old days. I think if anything, you're just seeing the Patriots go back to what they were in the early to mid 2000s.
Only 2 teams really use a traditional fullback. It's called 21 personnel. It's tight end, running back, fullback, and 2 receivers called 21 personnel. And the Patriots and the Ravens, the only 2 teams in the NFL that use it for more than 60% of the time.
Yeah, shut up.
So that's crazy.
Patriots can be crazy.
Good old fullback.
Yeah, James Devlin running over these.
Our intern Dylan, I bet you he was a big fullback. Dylan's a fullback.
Dude.
Dylan, you like fullback?
I like the fullback.
Dylan likes the fullback position.
Dylan, you were built to play fullback. Dude, you bring him to training camp with you ever?
He's not a Patriots fan.
Still, just you
He
gotta
can
go
come
see
next year if
Tom
he wants.
sometimes.
He can come if he wants.
If you walk over there, I guarantee Bill will pull you out of the crowd, Dylan. I promise you.
Dylan will play fullback.
He'll have Devlin retired by the end of the year. He'll have you a star. You'll be running the ball for them all the time.
Goal line, baby.
Dylan, I would pay for that, please.
Oh, okay.
Please. Oh, God.
That's awesome.
Besides that, what are we missing here?
You want to break now?
Yeah.
We're going to hit some other off-season topics?
Yeah, let's go that route. Yeah, we'll talk Danny Shelton when we come back a little bit, too.
Fine.
All right, Ben, go for it.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
The thing that stopped the trade conversation with Odell Beckham Jr. is because the team that was most aggressive in pursuing him was the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots were trying to get Odell Beckham Jr. all last offseason. That didn't work out, and I think the Giants got cold feet and said, wait, New England wants him? Maybe he's better than we thought. Maybe we should just keep him on our own instead of it being thrown in our face and him going to win a Super Bowl with the Pats.
Okay. How can you not get excited? It makes
You're very excited today.
Yes, I am. But you hear Odell Beckham Jr. could have been a Patriot. Do you know how often I'd be whipping around here, man? I'd hit the whip daily, bro.
You pull up the jersey.
Dog, it'd be. Can you imagine the fit with the Odell Beckham jersey? It would be a wrap, bro.
My brother's been talking about it for 2 weeks now. I already know.
Dude, any Patriots fan would probably go and get an Odell jersey within the next month or two. So, yeah, with Odell Beckham, hearing a rumor like that, it gets you excited because when the Patriots put that kind of interest in a player, it doesn't stop just one time. That means anytime they hear a note on that player, they're going to go back and kind of reconnect and see what they can do there. And you look at a team like the Giants, it looks like they're in the midst of tearing everything down. They're getting that close. Eli Manning is obviously horrible. Can't do anything right. Let's be real. Odell Beckham
you don't want to
better.
Offend Giant fans.
Oh, sorry.
Be careful.
Where are they? I haven't met one.
Scibio?
I'm sorry. Anthony Scibio. God. Jeez. He's a Giants fan. Anthony Scibio's a fan of one thing in this world. It's Joe Rogan. Scibio, I'll see you in class tomorrow. No, listen. When it comes to OBJ, me and Jason were just talking about this off air. I think we both agree. He's at some point going to end up in a Patriots uniform.
I think there's a good chance he ends up in a Patriots uniform.
Do you think it's this offseason?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think the Giants are going to have to tear everything down.
Here's why.
I think it's going to happen right before the draft, too.
Odell is feeling like he's being overshadowed by Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
He feels that Saquon's getting a lot more attention and more publicity than he is.
Which is stupid to me because their brands aren't even close.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, Saquon Barkley's special, one of the best running backs in the league already at a young age, and this and that. Also, we did. All right, so that was Chris Sims from Pro Football Talk.
Yep, on PFT Live.
Yep, the rest of the quote talked about how he would have already been a Patriot, but the Giants were afraid to send him to the Patriots, this and that. That part I don't believe, but...
personally, I do, because there would have been...
You think they're going to give him all that money just because the Patriots want him?
No, so what I'm trying to say here, right? The reason they didn't trade Odell Beckham Jr. to the Patriots is because of the outrage that would have happened amongst the owners and different stuff like that. So? It would have immediately become a problem. Everyone's already talked about, the Patriots doing things, not doing things, but continuing to build up, form a dynasty that's unbeatable, that people can't take down. You look at the Antonio Brown situation for what it is right now. Why do you think they're not trading him? Because no one wants the Patriots getting an elite wide receiver like that. There's not one other owner in the league.
So Odell Beckham's contract is a lot more affordable than you think.
Mm-hmm.
So he originally signed a 5-year, $90 million deal, right?
With $41 million guaranteed.
Yep. So he signed a $20 million signing bonus. That was front-loaded, so he got that $20 million last year. You don't have to pay him that anymore. Nope. And you have a potential opt-out after 2020. So you'd realistically have him 2 years for about $31 million.
And for a guy like...
You pay him $16.5 this year, and then $14 million the next.
Yeah, you go and grab a guy like Odell Beckham, it's immediately going to transform this team in ways that would be close to Randy Moss. So I think it's going to be that kind of season statistic-wise, no.
Odell obviously younger than Randy Moss was when he became a Patriot. Odell's 26. I think Moss was 29 or 30.
He'd become the franchise cornerstone at that point.
Yeah, at that point you'd have to look at
the money he's making, the position he's going to fill, the amount of attention he's going to get.
You're not married to this guy either. Again, if it's not working out, you wouldn't have him gone by the end of next year.
Because there's not another the
end of 2020.
Yeah, you look at every OBJ, Antonio Brown. Listen, when it comes to these guys, if you don't want them, every other team in the league will do anything to try and grab them if they can afford it.
Who would you rather have?
Antonio Brown or OBJ? OBJ.
From a talent perspective, I would say Brown, but from a contract and everything else, I'd say Odell. Better fit for the Patriots is Odell.
Agreed. That's one of the reasons, and also with Antonio Brown, I think the only thing that does push him forward is the elite work ethic and different stuff like that. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The Patriots' dream scenario this offseason, is Odell your number one receiver, Edelman is your 2, and Gordon is your 3. Yeah. And
that's your dream.
I think what makes me go OBJ over Antonio Brown is I believe Antonio Brown is in the midst of his peak right now. I think OBJ hasn't even entered his peak right now, and I think that's the even scarier part.
Are injuries a concern for him?
No, I wouldn't panic yet. I am a little concerned with the fact that when he is injured, he doesn't come back until he is 110% healthy.
Do you think that would change here?
I think he'd be forced to make a change. And I think bringing into this culture, I don't even think it would have to be the Patriots who would have to change him. Odell's a guy who obviously loves football, man. He wouldn't be the kind of mascot in the sport if he wasn't. There's a reason why the NFL has put so much into him.
First year, he played 12 games. 2014, it was 12 games. 2015, 15. 2016, 16. 2017, 4. And last year, he played 12.
Yeah. So it's obviously been up and down, but I think another thing you got to keep in consideration is, especially dating back 2 years, at that time, the Giants, their season was over pretty quick.
So the Patriots have never done this before. They've never traded for an elite, other than Randy Moss, receiver. It has never happened. The Patriots usually make the best they can out of things, bring in guys like Chris Hogan, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman,
Danny Amendola. God.
Exactly. Guys like that. So, could this be different? I think it can be. I think Brady's at a stage where he would benefit from having Odell. I think it would benefit Edelman from having Odell. I think it would benefit everybody. And I think it brings a higher chance that Gronk will be back next year.
No, I 100% agree. Who's going to turn down
everybody?
Yeah, who's going to turn down the opportunity to play with a guy like Odell?
Odell has wanted to for over a year now.
Yeah, and
it's been closer to 2 years.
Yeah, and you bring Odell into the mix. I know a lot of people want to say, he's loud, he does different stuff like this, the dancers or whatever. That's sports today, man. You're not going to avoid it. You look at even the new leagues, the AFL or the AAF, however you want to pronounce it. Guys who have done nothing in this league had crazy celebrations going on already.
Yeah, celebrations.
It is what it is.
Does this off the field stuff scare you?
No, why? Because he parties with Drake? Because he got caught with a substance in a video?
Substance?
Yeah. No.
Does that worry you?
No, because if you have any clue and you've seen Hollywood, most of these athletes are doing stuff like that. We had Josh Gordon who played games high while in the NFL.
Now, that's another question. Does having Odell and Josh Gordon on the same team,
that's an issue.
Is that an issue?
You can't keep that.
I think so, because
yes.
I think they're going to.
Then you're playing with a lot of fire there, because look, Josh Gordon has shown, I don't even know if the guy sees it, if he can handle it. You know what I mean? If it's at that point, and it's really sad, but for a guy like Odell who's at crazy parties with the biggest stars in the world, that stuff's going to be there. I wouldn't take that chance. I think if that point you're irresponsible if you're the Patriots and you take that chance and you're taking winning over a player's health, and I don't think Josh Gordon's camp would allow that.
You don't think so?
No.
I think Gordon's going to be back next year. I think he's going to get suspended, obviously.
Yes.
But I think he'll be there at training camp.
You think Josh Gordon's camp would let him and Odell be around each other? I don't.
I do.
I think that's ridiculous. I think Josh Gordon's camp's playing with a game here where they're concerned about his life, about him surviving, living. He has a real drug problem, and it's not just marijuana.
No, obviously.
You know what I mean?
He got busted for a whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly. I don't think they're doing that. If they were so willing to pull Josh Gordon out at the point where they were, and obviously he was about to be suspended.
Well, he's suspended anyway, yeah. They had no choice.
But for them to go out and be so cautious where they're like, immediate rehab, let's get him out. We're not playing any games here.
And it was interesting. The Patriots paid for Gordon's rehab.
Yeah. And we also got to look at other things as well, that Josh Gordon, the same camp has pulled him out of training camp for a mental break and different stuff like that. So no, I don't think they're going to risk that, because Josh Gordon, if things don't work out here, but they understand it's over an issue like that, he'll get an opportunity elsewhere.
I think this is Gordon's last stop regardless. I don't know if another team will give him a shot.
I think it depends.
Well, in the NFL.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
I think if it comes back, he's healthy and his camp handles this the right way, he's reinstated in May, and the NFL, he a little bump in the road, but he's continuing to move upward. I think you will see an opportunity.
We'll see how it goes
because he played very, very solid. He was inconsistent, but very solid.
Yeah, obviously the offense benefited when he was out, but I think a year on the system, a year under Brady could certainly help him.
And knowing he was likely using substances during his time here, or not likely, he was.
He got suspended.
He was using different substances during his time here and still performing like he did. Come on, man. It's hard to ignore that. I think you give it another try. I do think if he goes somewhere else, the leash is so short.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even time, get out.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? We're not going to even.
But from a dream Patriot scenario, I think they're going in this offseason like, let's form a receiving core of Odell, Edelman, Gordon, resign Patterson, and then your fifth receiver is a slot guy that replaces Edelman, a.k.a. Riley McCarron, Braxton Berrios, or insert some slot guy.
Berrios coming off IR. Yeah. I don't know. Josh Gordon and OBJ, I think that's an irresponsible move to keep them both on the team. I don't think the Patriots want two questionable headaches like that on one team. Well, you're looking at...
if Gordon messes up again, I think that's an easy one to get underneath of.
But you're not going to put yourself in that situation where, you look at it. They had so many people watching Josh Gordon. You're going to have those same people watching Odell. How many guys are you going to pay to follow athletes around? You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, then the Patriots will be out on Odell.
No, I agree. And that's the one thing that does make me take a little bit of a pushback here. But I think their pursuit of OBJ depends on Josh Gordon's rehab and how he's doing.
Gordon's just been so active on Instagram, posting so many things. It's in his Instagram bio, Super Bowl 53 champion, commented on Brady stuff.
He got a ring for people who don't know.
Yeah, he got a ring, of course. So, I don't know. I'm intrigued by that next year. Gordon is still young. He's going to be 28 in April. And I think this is his last shot.
I think the NFL, honestly, will leave Josh Gordon in a point where they tell you need to be very cautious of what you're around. I think they're going to be very
They might just
involved
say
where
like,
he
"Hey,
goes.
you get caught again. We're banning you."
Yeah, no,
they might do that.
And I think that's fair, man.
Yeah, of
you know,
course,
the
of
guy's
course.
fighting a disease.
What is this? His how many times has he been popped?
I think
7.
Yeah, that
8?
sounds. I think 7 is the number. I can't imagine OBJ and Josh Gordon on the same team. You thought Gordon and Manziel was bad. You know how much bad stuff
Well, I think
OBJ can buy.
They would think Odell can mature a little bit and be a leader.
Listen, I love OBJ. He's a kid. You see it. He's a kid at heart. That's who he is.
I'm curious to see how he would react here.
I think he
curious.
would be just as lit, and I think they would love it. I think Tom Brady, I can picture it. Tom Brady trying to do the whip with him. That would be the corniest, but it would be a video, and everybody, yeah, Tom, get it, kid.
Yeah, maybe.
I guarantee. I don't think it's a smart move. Locker room too, just in general. You have 2 guys you don't know if they're gonna be okay. You know, Odell hasn't had an issue in terms of that.
Odell's never been suspended.
No, for those issues, but having to worry about, injuries, what he's doing around people, because we know he's being watched at all times still.
Yeah.
The guy almost blinded himself looking at the sun. You're telling me I'm going to trust this dude to be by himself?
That is true.
Stop it.
Was it during the solar eclipse or lunar, whichever
What was
one
that,
it was?
like 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, Antonio Brown. I want to talk about that situation.
Yeah, of course.
When it comes to him, listen. Shout out you, Antonio Brown. I think you're doing the right thing, man.
You think so?
You're taking away from bosses who think they can control you solely based off a contract.
I think he's hurt his market a little bit.
No, I agree, but no matter what, he's Antonio Brown, and talent's going to precede anything because there's going to be a lineup of teams who want him. I think and no matter whatever he did to his brand, the Steelers have taken 10 times that because of the salary cap they're about to take. Their salary cap hit.
There's 2 landing spots for him. It's either Arizona or San Francisco.
I think New York's a real opportunity too.
I don't know if they'd send him there. The Jets?
Yes.
I don't think they're going to send him in conference.
I don't know. I don't think it's. I think the Jets will be a team who is going to step up.
He's a free agent. That's one thing.
Yeah, I think New York's going to step up and offer him a ton. I no longer believe Le'Veon Bell's going to be going there, and I think they're going to turn their focus to Antonio Brown.
Maybe. I just find it hard to believe if they're going to send him in conference. I think they're going to send him out so far they can't hurt him.
The Jets will throw a lot for that man. Because you pair him and Sam Darnold, you got a real turn coming up that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if the offer is so good, you can't refuse it. That's one thing. But
yeah.
I just have a feeling he's going to end up in
Jets or 49ers.
49ers. I think Arizona's a real possibility.
I think Arizona is a possibility.
Real possibility.
I think they have a very important draft coming up, and I think they're not going to have the right assets to make a move like that.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona traded down.
Yeah, no, a lot of people have been talking about that, whether, Nick Bosa seems to be...
I mean, Bosa's a great player, obviously best pass rusher in the draft, but I think they have more needs than just, obviously, the defensive end position.
Yeah.
I think if they could trade down and get 2 or 3 first-round picks for the insurance...
No, I don't think it's an awful idea, but I think if they do go that route...
Not to mention if someone falls in love with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and I think when you go and look there, even if they do trade down, that's another sign they're not going for Antonio Brown because they're trying to supply themselves with talent.
Maybe. We'll see how
Cardinals
it goes.
were by far the most untalented roster in the NFL
You think
last
so?
year.
They're
Easy.
pretty close. I think they're going to be a lot better this year. I really do.
I agree, and I think it's going to be from a big draft. I do think they're going to trade down with Nick Bosa, and I do think they're going to kind of reestablish. I just think it's maybe a year too early for Antonio Brown to land there.
See, where do you think he lands? The Jets?
Jets or 49ers. I think the 49ers have a real opportunity if they go completely in and they're like, come on, we got to... Jimmy, didn't look amazing before his injury. So you commit to Antonio Brown. You hope that does something.
San Francisco would certainly be interesting. Kyle Shanahan, and who's the GM of the 49ers? It's Lynch.
John Lynch.
Lynch has a good familiarity with the Steelers brass, the Steelers ownership, so I could see that too.
Yeah, I just think the Jets are going to probably have the most exciting offseason of any team this year. I think you're going to see them in on everything and everyone. Sam Darnold, how great he played at the end of last year, I think that was enough for them to be like, next year could be the year we really push forward.
No, it should be. And theoretically, if Darnold can stay healthy, they should be on the cusp of 500.
Yeah, and with a guy like Adam Gase, someone who throughout his entire 10 years always had really good wide receivers on his team. Really good.
Yeah.
Whether you go back to Miami with Jarvis Landry.
But then it plays in effect.
Or Chicago.
Does Gase want to deal with egos? Because he didn't with Landry, he didn't with Ajayi. So that could be a factor too.
But I don't think Adam Gase cares, and I think that's what's always stuck out to people. He treats everyone like they're the same exact person.
They might not care if Gase cares or not.
Huh?
The Jets, like GM ownership.
I think they like that.
They might not care if he cares or not.
That's what I think they like. I think they like the fact that Adam Gase, he doesn't turn.
They're going to do it regardless.
People take it the wrong way. They say Adam Gase doesn't like superstar players. No, he just treats them like they're anybody else. And, a lot of people want to crap on him for that. That's what Bill Belichick does.
Yeah.
Adam Gase doesn't have that pedigree.
Adam Gase is not Bill Belichick.
Well, when the guy's eyes are popping out like they are,
Yeah.
Listen, Odell sees that. He's going to know that look from a lot of the parties he goes to. But no, I think Adam Gase could be a guy who brings Antonio Brown. He's going to tell him shut up, sit down, do your thing, and keep going that way.
Yeah.
But no, I like Jets, Antonio Brown. I think
So
that's
we got about
interesting.
5 minutes here. Do you want to talk about quickly here? I think we should lead off after the break with some Kyler Murray talk.
Okay.
So, quick reaction on the AAF.
Love it. I think it's a great idea. I feel like I see a marketing plan already. AAF from week 1 to week 2 seems like the hype is still going.
Does it concern you they couldn't afford to pay their? Did you see that story?
Yes.
So apparently their budget, they didn't think ahead too far.
Yeah.
They barely had enough money to pay all their players and coaches.
Well,
So they needed a hockey owner. I can't remember his name he used to be the Hurricanes owner.
yes.
To invest in them and really come through with some money.
No, and I think
So that's concerning.
see, to me, that a little bit concerning, but I think it goes to show the credibility of this league. It's run by so many different NFL guys.
Bill Polian.
Yep, who's kind of been the face, who it was brought to him and he kind of agreed to go with the deal. But when you have guys, and don't get me wrong, it's not the highest quality of football, but it's a league where you can see things the NFL is waiting to do. It's an experimental league. Their replay system is amazing.
See, I know a lot of people that really like it. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge fan.
Listen, I'm a fan of watching a lot of guys have a second chance, whether it's Zach Stacy, Zach Mettenberg, Christian Hackenberg, Trent Richardson with the Birmingham Iron.
Yes.
Said it backwards. Perez, the quarterback for that team.
Yep.
I think he was with the Rams before. A lot of people don't realize that. The story
He played in D2, right?
Yeah. The story is he
I know his story,
high school
yeah.
football, whatever.
Yeah.
People think he's never played a pro game. He sat with the Rams and Sean McVay loved him. He didn't fit on the roster. So I think the AAF is going to last. I think, honestly, I could see them, if popularity continues to grow, I think they'll get the NCAA video game deal that the NCAA no longer has because they couldn't get the contract signed and figure it out with all the different names. I think you can see the AAF, they're the off season. They could be the game that comes out opposite of the NFL. You could have a whole system here. You're going to build a whole fan base. And the fact that the NFL is already doing videos showing AAF highlights is enough for me because that shows they're looking at it as a league where players can go to learn. All they need is a Johnny Manziel name like that. Tim Tebow quits baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe after he makes the majors this year or something like that.
I wish. I don't think it's happening.
No, I don't. And I think this means that XFL is dead.
You think so? I think the XFL can use this as kind of a learning experience. I think they could see what's worked and what hasn't worked.
No,
because they're going to be competing against these guys.
What's
more
been
than
the biggest
NFL.
thing about the AAF that people like? It's real football. You know what the
That people
XFL
like?
is? Yeah. You know what the XFL won't be? It's not going to be real football. It's owned by entertainment people.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
That's the biggest thing. People are in love with the big hits. They're in love with the redemption stories. They're in love with young players taking their last chance. The XFL, look, the AFL or the AAF has already taken the best talent of players that weren't playing in the NFL. What are we going to see in the next league? You're telling me the XFL is going to be able to offer contracts where you get $80,000 a year, full insurance, all those different things, and a connection like Birmingham Iron, like Patriots have first dibs on their players, I believe. Different opportunities like that.
From
No.
that standpoint, yeah. But I think from a pure entertainment standpoint, the XFL might be something.
No. To who? To what?
I don't know.
What are you going to watch? The kid-
Dylan's raising his hand over here.
Yeah, you know why? Because Dylan's probably playing in the league. That's why you're excited.
Dylan, if you're in the league, I'll watch.
That's the truth. All the players who were on that line where almost NFL players, they're taken up.
You think they would? All right, so if they have a choice between the AAF and the XFL, they're
It's
picking
not
the
even
AAF?
a conversation.
All right.
Am I going to go with the football guys or the guys who do WWE? Tell me.
you know what?
Who are you going to go learn from?
It depends what I'm trying to do.
What do you want to be, a reality
Do I
TV
want
star?
to end up on a practice squad with the Rams?
I prefer that instead of being on Jersey Shore 3.
Or do I take the chance of being on Jersey Shore 3?
I do not want to be on Jersey Shore 3. I would definitely rather play football. I'd rather have an opportunity.
I think it's going to be cool to watch these guys really battle off because that's what it's going to come down
Yeah,
to.
no, I agree. I just think XFL has one season if they're lucky.
You think so?
Yep. I think the AF is going to serve as kind of the minor leagues to the NFL now, and this country is so football heavy. The AF games the first week were out doing the NBA games.
Well, if
that's crazy.
You know what? More football, the better. I'm not totally out in the XFL yet, and they got a good coach, Bob Stoops, former Oklahoma coach.
You got one coach.
He's solid.
You got one. Yeah.
You got Mike Singletary in the AAF.
The thing is, it's experienced coaches, and I think that's the difference. It's great
You
to
that
have
one old guy who coached, and I have no idea where he did. He's like 80. I have no idea.
They have multiple experienced coaches in the AF. That's the thing.
We had to go to break, Tyler.
Fine, let's go. Jason, take this L. I'm sorry.
WMLN-FM 91.5 Milton, Boston. The South Shore's award-winning college radio station. Listen 24/7 from the WMLN app.
Yeah, baby.
Download it for free today from the Apple or Google Play Store.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, Jay, I think I got the right mics. Let's see. Jason doesn't even
I
have the
didn't
mic
even
in
have a
front of
mic.
him.
Yep.
And he was the one trying to check me. So we said we were going to get into Kyler Murray, right?
Yes, let's get it.
So for people who do not know the story, Kyler Murray, last week?
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah, last week admitted he was fully committed to the NFL. He was getting ready for the combine, and that's all his focus was on. And he seems to have abandoned his baseball contract.
I thought he had a passion for baseball.
Yeah, that's what he said. Listen, he tried to say the right things. He did. I'll give him his credit. It just didn't work.
I thought he was football the whole time.
What did I tell you when he said he'd rather win the Heisman?
He's going to go to football?
That's it. Dude, what do you say you'd rather win a Heisman than a World Series? That's all that I need to hear. You don't want to play baseball. Hey, man, listen, I'm the biggest baseball fan you'll find, but I understand. Sometimes you're just more passionate about another sport. And for him, he has a chance. Listen, if he went through baseball, I really don't think he would have made it to the majors, personally.
You don't think so, huh?
I don't think he was as good.
You don't think he's Jose Altuve?
No, I don't think he's any of that. Listen, he was a very good outfielder, don't get me wrong, but he was extremely raw. He had a long way to go. He's not young. You know what I mean? It's not like he's an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. Yeah, he's 22. Kyler Murray wasn't going to be in the majors in 3 years. I couldn't even imagine it. He wasn't an elite hitter in college. So, no, I think he made the right move. And people who want to say, baseball money, he wouldn't have made minimum wage at least probably the first 3-4 years of his career.
Granted, baseball is guaranteed, but you need to reach that level.
Exactly. And, there's not too many people who reach that level. That's the truth at the end of the day. Nate O'Shan, if you're listening, you better watch yourself. But no, listen, with Kyler Murray, I think he made the right move going to football. I think his stock is going through the roof right now with people. He
looks like he's linked to number 1 overall, or his floor is probably number 13 in Miami.
And originally people were saying probably even a month ago that he was at best late in the first round, maybe.
Yeah.
Now look at him. He's taken charge. He's by far the best quarterback in this draft. And
he's by far the best quarterback? Better than Haskins?
Yes. I like Dwayne Haskins a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think he'll be a very good quarterback. I think Kyler Murray's a star. I think he has as much arm talent as a guy like Dwayne Haskins does, with elite speed that we've never seen at the quarterback position probably since Michael Vick, and an ability to not get hit. And that was a big thing that Lincoln Riley mentioned. I believe it was on The Herd last week. He went on and talked about how Baker Mayfield, Baker was pretty mobile in college, people forget, and he took way too many hits. Even Riley
Kyler Murray's a
admitted
pocket passer.
Yeah, Kyler Murray can go do his thing. He has the tools. He has all of them to be a great quarterback except the height. Listen, people debate, some say 5'9 3/4, some people say 5'8 3/4. Listen,
he's about 5'8.
I don't care what Skip Bayless says when he's standing next to him. That doesn't mean anything to me. He looks about. Shut up. Do you have a tape measure next to you? You don't know his height.
Well, I think he's about 5'8.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5'8 3/4 to 5'9. Right in that little gap, whatever you want to consider that.
He's not 5'11.
No, hell no, not in any way.
No.
But I do think Kyler, with the way the NFL is moving, hits are not as hard. It's a more spaced out game. You can make big passes. It's about throwing the ball, running around, doing your thing.
Does sample size concern you? He's only played for a year.
No, it doesn't. Because it wasn't like he fluctuated in and out of games. He was just consistently amazing. There really wasn't a letdown performance or anything like that. And that's what sticks out to me. And for Kyler Murray to quit baseball, there has to be a lot of confidence there. I don't think that's an easy decision. So I think as long as he ends up in the right system, it has to be an innovative coach who's ready to work with him so he can excel.
All right, so what's your team? What's his best fit?
Best fit off the top of my head.
Realistic or not?
Realistic or not?
Yeah.
If it wasn't realistic, I'd say Arizona in a heartbeat.
I agree.
You get him with Cliff Kingsbury, I think he could do a lot of fun things. But I'd say probably the Jaguars.
So if we look at the quarterback needy teams here, Arizona, I'm not going to put in that class.
Mm-hmm.
So how about
they've committed to Josh Rosen?
Yeah, and they've already said it. And it looks like Kingsbury is, because he had that whole comment where he said if I had the number 1 pick
Before he became the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
He didn't even know at that time he'd be up for an NFL coaching job.
Yeah. How would he?
Yeah.
But how about the Giants?
Yeah, I don't think that's impossible. I think if
I'm gonna go down the line here of quarterback needy teams. Giants.
Yes, I think that's a real chance. I think the Giants. If you get Kyler Murray, I think you have to keep Odell, and then you have Saquon Barkley, and then you have one of the most exciting offenses ever.
You think it's a possibility?
Yes, I do. I think the Giants, honestly, there's a real chance they sell everything out right before this.
Everything but Barkley.
Yes, exactly. I think they say goodbye. You go and get Kyler Murray, you're parting ways with Eli Manning, obviously. Eli was extremely weird when talking about his future all season. That was enough to make me push back. And then Odell and him, you're working speed, doing different stuff. We saw how much Odell was talking about Eli moving around, trying to do different things, get guys open. Here you go.
What about the Raiders?
No.
No?
Nope.
I think that's a possibility. I think Gruden likes that quarterback style.
No, I agree. I think John Gruden likes him. I just think they have too many obstacles to overcome, and I wouldn't give up on Derek Carr yet.
Okay, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Yes, I think that's a very real chance. Little interesting with their head coaching Tom Coughlin all the way up at the top. Very old school. But I think the Jaguars have shown they've been very innovative, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Blake Bortles is garbage. Dylan, thank you. Blake Bortles is one of the most useless quarterbacks I've ever seen. No one wants him. The team legitimately, guys were about to stop playing football so they wouldn't have to be on the same field.
I don't think Jacksonville.
Jalen Ramsey was about to get himself traded, man.
I don't know if Tom Coughlin, who runs the Jaguars, theoretically is into the smaller style of quarterbacks. I think he's more a Daniel Jones type and more of a Dwayne Haskins.
See, I can understand that, but I think if you're the Jaguars and you're such a young team as it is, I think any move away from
and a
Blake
lot of their
Bortles would
offense
help.
is under center. It's not much through shotgun.
But
I don't
it's
know
a lot
how
of speed at the same time,
Yeah.
and that's what I think Kyler Murray's built for. And Doug Marrone, we remember he was with E.J. Manuel before.
Yeah, in Buffalo.
Not terrified of younger quarterbacks. E.J. Manuel was a very...
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to take one. I just don't think it'll be Murray.
And E.J. Manuel was an extremely controversial quarterback at that time. What was he, 16th overall?
Yeah, Florida State.
Yeah,
Nobody saw it coming.
16th overall. He was pretty athletic back at that time, too. So I don't think that's crazy. Kyler Murray's a different story, but I'd say Giants won now that I have a chance to think about it, and I'd say 2 Jaguars.
I'm going to throw this one out there because I think it's highly, highly unlikely, but they've been talking about taking a quarterback. Detroit. No shot.
Nope.
Okay.
I've heard the rumors. They said, if they're wherever they are, listen, Matt Stafford's a good quarterback in this league. You need to learn to put talent around him. I think it's that simple. Patricia needs to learn to be a better coach as well. He's very disappointing to me this year. So yeah, I don't think the Lions do it.
Denver. I know they just traded for Flacco.
Nope. As Nick Wright said, they're going to stick to the tall guy, Joe Flacco.
So you think they're going to stick to the tall guy?
Yep. I think they're going to.
Elway always has things up his sleeve, so I don't think it's impossible.
I agree, but he only drafts tall guys.
Fair.
Come on. I think that's the truth. We see what kind of quarterback he likes. Maybe he snaps and he's like, let me draft the shortest quarterback of all time to play in the NFL. But no.
All right, Miami.
That's the other one. I think
Pair him with Brian Flores and offensive coordinator Chad O'Shea.
yes, but they'd have to tear everything down. I think that's very interesting.
Well, you know what? They're already kind of tearing it down anyway. If Tannehill's gone, it's a new offense implicated.
See,
First regime here.
I think with Brian Flores, I think if Trey Flowers doesn't go to the Patriots, I think he goes to Miami.
You think so? Yeah. I think another suitor for Flowers is Detroit.
Okay, yeah.
Detroit.
No,
I've seen that linked.
We're all staying inside the Patriots kind of head coaching connections here. So no, I think Miami's going to continue to stick with Ryan Tannehill and be average and hope their defense can get through things.
Flores is a different kind of guy. I don't know.
No,
I don't know if he's going to settle for mediocrity.
I just don't think at this point he's ready. He's going to go all in like that because that's such a dramatic switch up.
Washington.
No.
Alex Smith, I think he's done forever.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him. There hasn't really been much said about him. And
I think he's done for good.
Yeah, that's all you really need to hear. But no, I don't. It's a weird fit. I think the Redskins have a lot of issues they need to rework on that entire team beyond quarterback. I don't think you're gonna. I think if anything, they need more picks instead of giving everything up for one.
Just
guy.
keep an eye on this team. Hasn't been linked too much, but I could totally see Mike Vrabel in the Titans doing something like that. I really could.
Yes, but I don't think they're ready to give up on Marcus Mariota. As weird as Mariota's career has gone, trust me, I'm as disappointed as anyone.
Everybody is.
Yeah. I don't think they're ready to give up because there's still those flashes. And Mike Vrabel going into his second year, if things go south, it's not going to be a good look for him.
Yeah, I just think they're a team that you never know what the heck they're doing.
I just think with Mariota at this point, he's shown enough to be average that it's pretty hard to justify cleaning the slate completely.
So what's your best fit? Because that's about it.
I think I'm going to say Giants.
And then New England, I think, would be another one, but I don't think he's going to fall to 32.
I know. I agree. I'm going to go Giants. I think the Giants are, if something crazy happen, I think if the Giants stick to how they've acted the past few years, it's Jaguars.
I'm going to go with Miami.
You're going to go Miami?
Yep, warm weather here.
That would be a lot of fun.
Pairing up with Flores, first year, first regime. Don't really need to rip the whole playbook because there is no playbook yet. I'm going to go with the wild card here and Miami going to pick Kyler Murray.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's insane. I think at this point, whoever commits to Kyler Murray, it's such
you got to change everything.
Yes, you're going to switch everything up, and I don't have enough faith in that coaching staff to be ready for that.
You don't think so?
Brian Flores is a great defensive mind, but this is a whole different style, and I think wherever he goes, he's going to need someone who has a lot of experience with younger quarterbacks, and I think that's going to be a big focus.
So we got about 5 minutes left before we take a break here. Quickly, I just want to run through the top 10 free agents in the NFL.
You got the list in front of you, Jay? I have
so,
it too.
according to NFL.com, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yep.
You think he stays in Dallas?
Yes, I do.
I think he gets franchised.
Yeah, I do too, and he's already talked about the outrage when that does happen, so I think it's going to be quite a situation for them, and it'll be back to Dallas having a ton of drama as usual, but DeMarcus
I
Lawrence,
think Dallas is, if they play their cards, they're going to win the division next year again.
He was arguably the most disruptive defensive player this year.
With him, Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith.
27, like, come on.
Awesome. You can't let him go. Le'Veon Bell. I think 3 teams really I could see him with the Jets.
Yep.
I think the Colts have been linked to him quite a bit.
Yep.
And another team no one really talking about, I think, is the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles could pull that.
Yeah, I know you've been kind of floating that a lot recently.
Yep.
No, I like a lot of those different spots. I think Le'Veon's also another guy. I think if you see a team like, the 49ers, someone like that, you might see them go out and just do anything to get another star on their roster just because they don't want to see a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo fall.
Yep.
Because he needs to succeed immediately.
This is make or break for him.
Or it's crisis
This
mode.
is make or break.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and they were like, listen, we didn't get Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Le'Veon.
This is something.
Well, they
man.
have Jerick McKinnon coming back. They paid him a lot of money last year.
And I do think with a guy like McKinnon coming back, you bring in a guy like Le'Veon Bell, it's one of the few times you can surpass something like that. And then you have an interesting situation there with 2 guys. Maybe you figure something out with McKinnon.
Jadeveon Clowney, I think he gets franchised. He stays.
Yep, agreed.
Nick Foles here. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I've been saying it for quite a bit. I think he ends up in Washington.
Redskins have shown they love mediocrity. Nick Foles, have fun.
Exactly. Grady Jarrett, D tackle from Atlanta. I keep hearing that he's going to stay.
Yeah.
He's a young kid. He's 25 years old. He had a great year last year.
He's fit really well into their system as well. Coming in wasn't a really slow development process either. Kind of came into the NFL and found that success. I think he stays. I think Atlanta's kind of on the come up of going back, trying to find their way in this league, and I think this year they kind of bounce back in Matt Ryan.
Trey Flowers, next one. We talked about him staying. I think Detroit's a possibility.
I say Patriots or I say Miami.
Okay. Earl Thomas.
God.
It's got to be Dallas.
Yeah, I think that's they've
Dallas.
Been linked so much.
I think San Francisco because he's tight with Richard Sherman. That's an option.
I think the 49ers learned from Richard Sherman.
You think so? Yeah.
Honestly, as much as they probably like to pair them two, and you do that, then it gets sad. That's like a washed-up Legion of Boom.
D Ford. We all know D Ford, the pass rusher from Kansas City. I think he probably stays.
Yeah, I agree. KC, they're about to get on a rage where it's going to be either they form a dynasty in the AFC or it becomes the new annual Patriots-Chiefs AFC game.
Another one. He's not in like the top 10, but I'm interested. Tyrann Mathieu here.
Yes.
I'd love to see him in New England. I've been talking about it for years.
And it was quite a weird year for him over with the Texans. I don't think he was ever what people had hoped he would be. Everyone remembers the first game of the season, or not the first game of the season. Earlier in the season, he had that huge hit that everyone was talking about. Besides that, the leadership qualities weren't really there. He didn't win over that defense like people thought.
Then after that, you just have a list of guys. Landon Collins, who I really like. Last one, Landon Collins.
I like that Patriots fit you mentioned earlier a lot.
I like that a lot.
We talked about earlier with Brandon Brown or similar play styles. I do think Tyrann Mathieu, Devin McCourty retires. You got a solution right there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see. All right, you want to hit a break?
Yeah, let's do it. Just a heads up before we go into the break. We haven't talked about this much, our YouTube.
Yes, Tyler, bring it up.
We forgot to mention it last week. So, starting this week, every episode of Pombo and Milliken will be on our YouTube. I think people remember us saying that for SoundCloud. Unfortunately, SoundCloud's platform is not nice to broke people. So we are no longer using that platform. All shows will be uploaded to YouTube. For our last episode 2 weeks ago, we had the Super Bowl preview. We didn't upload it yet. It will be uploaded unlisted, so it will be tweeted out on the Twitter. So go and check that out if you want to hear that episode and then listen to this one. We'll be back in a few. We got what? Some NBA talks.
Yep, we got some NBA. You can talk some Machado.
Yeah, so you're not going to want to go anywhere.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
You want to decree anything else you're going to win? Go ahead. This is your chance.
We're going to win the finals this year. February 16th, Jason Tatum said we're going to win the finals this year.
I'm sorry. That's not correct.
What's not correct?
Jason, contain yourself.
What's not correct?
Before we go into this, I just want to make a quick note on my Le'Veon Bell take.
Make it.
$6 million to cut McKinnon. That's all it would hit on the cap. A team of him and Matt Breida would be pretty special.
You already want to cut McKinnon, huh?
Yep.
Right.
Dude, come on. I'm not living off that Minnesota. Everyone on that year just got lucky. Okay, so yeah, let's get into some NBA talk. All-Star Weekend, I thought everything was a blast except the dunk competition.
Yeah, that's where I stand too.
Yeah, like, You saw the 3-point contest. Harris banking those.
Steph went off.
Oh, my God. Even in the final round, Steph got 24, 26.
22, 24, something like that.
Something like that. It was really close. A lot of people didn't know who Harris was. He's arguably the second best 3-point shooter in the league this year. I think statistically he is.
Yeah, he's been right up there. But obviously he's a lesser-known guy. He plays with Brooklyn.
Yo, D'Angelo Russell was hyping this dude.
Deloading.
Oh, my God.
You a D'Angelo Russell guy?
I am.
The Lakers screwed that one up,
Ice in my veins, boys. You seen that? He points every single time.
The Lakers screwed that up.
Big time. Very
huge.
Big time.
And then no one really talks about it, but that's...
It just... I can
especially if Lonzo doesn't ever live up to it.
Because I don't know if D'Angelo Russell ever would have really clicked in that locker room after what happened.
But they cleared the whole room, though.
Yeah, but you think back at that time, how big of a deal that was. Some people looked at that and they were like, I remember people were like, he'll never be in an NBA locker room again. People really were scared.
He was a kid. He's only 22 now, which is crazy.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times I've seen kids at this college alone do awful things on social media. And
I can think of a couple.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're a kid, bruh, crazy stuff happens. If I'm the one like Nick Young who took an L in that situation,
big L.
I'll never talk to him again. But hey, bro, people make mistakes. I don't think anyone's not done something bad or hurt someone accidentally or whatever it may be.
On purpose or
yeah. When it came to the skills competition, Jason, I'm so happy I wasn't near you when you watched that.
All right, so get this. So I was at work and I was on break.
Okay.
So I was like, I pulled my stupid little NBA Reddit stream and I'm like, put it up and it's Tatum versus Young.
Put him on in the theater.
in the break room, I got it set up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. And he hits it. And I was like,
when he banked that half court shot, I was like, oh my God.
I was upset with myself that I didn't put money on it because I was gonna, but I didn't. I screwed that one up.
Hey.
I screwed that up. He had good odds.
Do you see the hype for the
18?
What do they call it? The 2020 dunk competition?
Zion, Ja Morant,
Levine,
and Giannis.
Yeah, wasn't there some talk about maybe Levine going for it again?
I didn't hear that, but I'm sure.
Yeah,
probably open. I heard Ja Morant.
It's in Chicago, right?
Next year, I believe so.
Yeah, because Levine obviously Bulls.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
For now.
Yeah, for now, exactly. If he's still there, I don't know. I think that would be a lot of fun. Who knows how it will end up playing out. Giannis was one of the huge excitement moments for me in the All-Star game.
He was awesome.
What was your favorite part of the All-Star game?
Other than Tatum?
Yes.
I liked the 3-point shootout. Actually,
I mean the game itself.
Oh, the game itself.
Yes.
Okay. Other than J. Cole at halftime.
That was, listen, J. Cole's attempted dunk during the dunk competition was the best moment of the dunk competition.
He's taller than you think. He's like 6'3".
Yeah, I'm not surprised,
Yeah,
dude.
he's a tall guy.
He used to ball. People used to say he was one of the better.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Hey, bro, listen, I wasn't always the biggest J. Cole fan, but respect. I know he's your guys' boy, especially Jay. Jay wears J. Cole on his back.
Yes.
But, I think, honestly, my favorite moment of the All-Star game was some of the Dirk stuff. The Dwayne.
Yeah, with the mic'd up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dirk hitting those threes and seeing how crazy everyone went. I have so much respect.
Damian Lillard hitting those threes.
Yeah, when he just snapped and Team LeBron was coming back. D. Wade first getting the alley himself and then throwing it off the backboard for LeBron.
Yep, that was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was overall solid.
Dwayne Wade looks so old.
Oh, Wade's
dude,
so
he
old.
looks 60. The bags under his eyes.
Who looks better, him or Dirk?
Dirk looks way younger than him, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you know what? Dirk's gamer, he's just a shooter. He can still do it.
Those threes were deep, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I love Dirk. Always
Dallas,
love
give him
Dirk.
a little more time.
Yeah.
Let him play till his
Dallas
body
got a great
breaks.
young core coming up. They're set up for a long time.
Yeah. Luka
and Porzingis now. They're set up for a while. They're going to sign another one. They're going to have a good pick this year. They're set up for a while. But overall, the game, I thought it was solid.
Yeah, it was fun. You saw, as it usually does in years where it's close, the last 5-6 minutes when the score is kind of there, guys start playing a little more defense. Get a little more serious. But overall,
how would you change All-Star Weekend if you could? You're the commissioner of the NBA. You got to alter one thing.
I don't know. I think you keep the 3-point contest. I think that's as exciting as it ever was. Watching Steph hit that whole rack of the 2-point balls, then seeing the skills competition.
They've messed around with things. Remember they had that stupid thing that was before like cities. It would be a WNBA, NBA, and old guy and somebody else.
No.
And remember they played horse for a few years.
Yeah. No.
So you leave it.
Yeah. I think the dunk contest. I don't think it's the NBA's fault. I think it's solely off the point they don't have people who are creative enough. I think you need to start pushing a reason for stars.
You need names.
Yeah, stars
who
are going to do
Giannis,
crazy things.
Zion, LeBron.
Yeah, like Dennis Smith. He jumped over D. Wade.
And then it was over Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then we had Shaq got dunked over.
Yep.
Listen, cool ideas, but I've seen it 1,000
Something
times.
we haven't seen, it was like Blake Griffin with the car.
Yeah, the airplane. thing
Gerald
was
Green when
whack.
he blew out the cupcake.
The airplane thing was so
The
whack.
airplane.
Dude, he didn't even get over the plane.
Yeah.
Like, bro, at least like some creativity. Do something like, I'm sick of seeing the ball off the side of the backboard. How many times have I seen people do
Or
that?
the Superman crap.
Yeah,
like
like-
how many Supermen are there with Shaq?
Exactly.
Dwight Howard.
Like, listen, dude, it's cool, whatever. You guys need names. You need people who are willing to do crazy things. I think they should add a team element
What do
to
you
the
mean?
dunk contest. Like a round. I think they should be able to get maybe 2 of their friends or something, do something crazy.
Oh, so like a duo kind of thing.
So look, you think back to the Steph Curry in the All-Star game, the bounce dunk to
Giannis?
Yeah, that was one of the most hype moments of the All-Star games. If you can get guys to do stuff like that,
that'd be cool.
that's fun.
That would be cool. Another thing would you go back to East and West?
I don't think it's a must. No. I think if anything that limits.
Well, if only as long as it doesn't keep overlapping with LeBron,
Exactly.
Giannis. Well, last year it was LeBron and was it Steph? LeBron and Steph.
I think it's fun when they do the draft. You know what I mean? It lets the guys hang out, whatever. I think, the fact that whoever...
LeBron was so trolling. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
I hate the fact that whoever gets the most votes gets the first pick. I think that's kind of stupid.
So you don't like the fan votes?
No.
I think for the most
I don't
part, everyone got right, though. I don't... Like, a few people get snubbed here and
Are
there.
you
but
upset that guys like Wade and Dirk make the game?
I'm not upset, but obviously they don't deserve to
Like,
be there.
one of my
But they-
boys cried and cried about it. It's like, dude, listen.
What's saying they don't deserve it? Or
Yeah, like, I understand you want to see a lot of talent, but, these are guys who've made so many
So I
All-Star
think this
teams,
is more...
future Hall of Famers.
If I'm being honest, I think this is more Wade than Dirk. I think Dirk kind of got lumped in.
Yeah, no,
I think this
agree.
is like, we got to put Wade in, he's bronze boy,
Yeah.
this and that. And they're like, well, now it's uneven. We can't just have Wade.
Yeah.
Like, you got to, it looks like Dirk's probably going to hang it up. Let's
Can't
just
have
throw him
one
in
flat
there.
tire.
And Dirk hasn't even said he's going to hang it up. Everyone's
No.
assuming. But Wade, obviously,
Dude,
said it.
The way Dirk was shooting some of those threes, maybe he was a little geared up, excited, whatever. Listen, he can still shoot. Nothing's changed about that. The only thing that's changed is his minutes and his health.
Yeah, of course.
And the guy's played as long as he has. The fact that he's made it this far still playing is pretty ridiculous.
I think next year, like you said, with Chicago, I like it. I think it's all cool. I think Charlotte they were good. The halftime show was good.
See,
I think
the
it all
thing
was
is,
cool.
Zion has the ability to change the game for the dunk contest if he comes out and he's immediately down to do it. Because that immediately
What if
it
let's
becomes
just-
fun for everyone.
Let's just per se he gets drafted by, let's just say the Cavs for
Okay.
sake of argument, and he struggles. Like,
Yeah.
I know everyone says he's the prophecy and the chosen one, this
But,
and that.
yeah.
But let's say he struggles. Like, what's to say he's like, yeah, I don't want to do the
Maybe
dunk
he
contest.
averages like 10.
yeah, whatever. He
3 and
comes
4.
out and struggles.
Yeah. Listen, I think no matter what.
Anything's on the table. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I think no matter what, you have the right names in it, it's going to be fun. Because even if Zion plays like garbage
Still
the
a
first
name.
half,
Yeah.
people are still going to be talking about him nonstop.
Like, I don't think it's not the Fultz effect where Zion's already coming in as a big as name as probably since LeBron.
Yeah, Zion, that's the only guy he really gets, him and Barkley.
Yeah,
those
that's
are the
about it.
comparisons you hear.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz, as fun as he was, there really wasn't any.
No, and he's now shifting to Orlando.
Oh, God. We didn't even include that on our list. That's a whole nother thing. You must have really been smiling after
Not
that
surprised.
one.
That's all I got to say. Tom. I'm not right about things often.
No,
but that I was right about Dylan.
What an L, man.
I was right about
Markelle Fultz, enjoy your life.
I said Tatum. I said it.
Yeah, no, you
I did say it.
from
I
day
did
one.
Say it. No, I did.
But no, I think All-Star Weekend was fine. I think it's still fun. The dunk contest needs to be. I don't want to see no names. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's great to see these athletic guys who average like less than 10 points to 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Listen, stop. Like, I remember when I saw Zach LaVine, it felt too early. You know what I mean?
Well, that kind of threw out his name.
Exactly. And now he's elevated to where he is now. But listen,
it could do the same for Dennis Smith, but he lost.
All right, tell me what the name of this weekend's called.
What do you mean?
What's the name of this weekend?
All-Star Weekend.
Thank you.
So you're saying it should be All Stars?
Yep. Premier talent. Premier. You know what I mean? I think it's different in certain situations because some of the best stars are the best dunkers in the league. Some of the best stars in the NBA aren't three-point shooters.
Yeah, of course.
But you see the mix. Steph, Seth, Harris. You know what I mean? Whoever you want to.
Clay.
Yeah, exactly.
Dirk.
Oh, Clay, man. Listen, dude, if I were you, my ego would hurt. Steph bodied you, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that 3 in the foul. Oh, Clay, dude. Him walking away, not even helping him up. I was like, dang, bro. Like,
But
dang.
overall, I think it's good. How come the Pro Bowl can't get it right, but the NBA can?
Because with the Pro Bowl,
Like you'd think you'd have
it's an
passing challenges or
40
like
they have
they
some
have like
of that
dodgeball
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
Like
they have like the throwing challenge, but they didn't even have there was a guy who wasn't even a quarterback. I can't even remember who it was.
Nothing. Like they should have accuracy for quarterbacks.
That would be cool.
Maybe a race for running backs,
Yeah.
like a relay race, kind of like a track thing.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the All-Star game itself is fun to watch. You know what I mean? Because you see guys crazy.
In the
dunks,
NFL was
whatever,
like,
in the
hey, we
game.
don't want to get hurt. But the NBA, it's right in the middle of their season. The
Yeah.
NFL, they're all gone. They're all done.
Even in the NBA, though, like it's not like there's intense defense.
No.
Just do your thing. What the Pro Bowl should be is like a lot more trick plays, a lot more crazy, innovative stuff. I saw a little bit of it this year.
A little bit, yeah.
But there needs to be way more. The Pro
the
Bowl
ratings
garbage.
and stuff, it's all
garbage.
And I think even the MLB All-Star game has come down.
Yeah, now that it doesn't
They used to
mean
take it
anything.
serious because it used to mean something. Like, you'd have guys on premier teams that are going to win
It
divisions.
used to
They're
go
like,
12, 13 innings, and
Yeah,
you
and
know,
you're
you
like-
fight till the end.
like, you know how big of a deal this
Yeah.
is, and it's helped the Red Sox. It's hurt the Red Sox.
Yeah.
It's helped so many teams.
I think with the Pro Bowl, it's never going to be right because there's that uncomfortable feeling that someone could get seriously hurt here for
Now,
nothing.
speaking of comparing the NFL to the NBA, here's a
Yeah.
good segue. Adam Silver, NFL. What do you think? I think it's so unlikely. It's probably not going to happen, but I would love to see it.
I agree. No,
Love it.
I think that's a really good way to
Because I
put
think he's
it.
the best commissioner in sports, and he has been.
100%. 100%.
He is probably the best commissioner of the 21st century.
People used to roast him for his appearance.
I mean,
all that
he does look
different
like an
stuff.
alien, but
Hey man, shout out you, bro, alien gang. No, but I would listen. We've dealt with so much dumb stuff in the NFL.
just Goodell.
You know what I mean?
If the NFL itself wasn't making so much money as a whole and as the number one sport, Goodell would have been gone 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Honestly, it wasn't until, a week ago now that I saw them do the first thing I've liked in a long time.
What'd they do?
The settlements with Colin Kaepernick and Eric
the
Reed.
settlements, they did that,
Yeah,
yes.
I think that was one of the best moves I've ever seen because there was no way they were going to win
I'm trying
it.
to think another time where they actually get it right.
Yeah, right? It's it's hard, isn't it? Like, they truthfully realize, like, wow, okay, you know, this...
Let's see what they do with Kareem Hunt.
Yes, that's a
What they
whole
do with that,
situation.
'cause that's ongoing.
We didn't even talk about him going to the Browns.
Oh, yeah? What do
Yeah.
you think of that?
Listen, geez, it's a tough blow to Nick Chubb, man.
That's the first thing I thought
yeah,
of.
like
I don't love
he
it.
looked really good this year, but listen, Kareem Hunt, like Nick Chubb,
How many games do you think he gets popped for?
I don't know. That's such a sticky situation, man.
I'd say 6 to 10.
Honestly, I could imagine the NFL going a little.
They're going to go harsh. They're not going to go light. He's
That's
going to
a
get.
good way to put it.
He's going to
harsh.
get more games than probably anticipated.
I could see. I'm going to go 12.
12. Ooh.
Yep.
It's not worth it then, in my opinion. I mean for the Browns to sign
Yes.
him. That's what I'm talking
I think
about.
you look at it at that point, they have to go because you look at the current situation, the life we live, the what's the word? The social standing of everything. If you don't destroy this dude when there's that video.
The video of Hunt?
Yes, that video is wow. Like we saw Ray Rice, awful.
Ray Rice was the worst.
And
Still, in my opinion, was the worst.
And it's still talked about how bad the Ray Rice decision was. The NFL will never take a chance at that again because no matter if you suspend him 12 games, no one's going to say anything.
I don't understand how the NFL can't get things right, but the NBA the NBA offseason is as compelling as the NBA season. I mean, the NFL has gotten to that point too, but the MLB has been the opposite.
I can't even compare the NFL to the NBA offseason because it feels like throughout the summer, all people talk about is where the NBA free agents are going.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's
even
true.
that much about the NFL.
The NFL, they own March. They own
You got
March
that
and stuff.
month.
But during the
Right
summer,
when free
it's-
agency starts.
when we have our shows during the summer, it's all
we talked about was LeBron, Lakers.
LeBron, Kyrie, this,
That was
Durant,
it.
this. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, it's legitimately like people get so sick of sports during that
the
time.
NBA owns it. Their marketing department is fantastic.
100%.
They understand what people want to see.
100%.
They get player mobility, as Colin Cowherd would say. Mobility, Tyler.
Oh my
Divorce. Mobility.
He had a segment the other day where he started by going, "You guys know I've been divorced." I almost died. He goes, "You guys know I've been divorced." He was talking about Antonio Brown. He goes, "How many divorces in the NFL?" Or no, he was actually talking about the NBA. He goes, "Anthony Davis and the Pelicans, they're getting divorced." I was like, "Colin, relax." He was like, you look at the NBA, there's a lot of divorces that are pretty fair on both sides. He was like, "My divorce." I was like, "Colin Cowherd, calm down, buddy." I was like, "Your divorce."
We gotta have some sound of Cowherd. We gotta put it up next week.
Oh, that will be the next move.
We gotta put that up.
That is so funny.
That's awesome. But yeah, just going back to that point, the NBA is just so good at marketing their stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good at keeping things intriguing. Even I think sometimes they probably plant false stories to get things going.
It works, dude, because think about all the stories we've had.
Durant moves his headquarters to New York. Kyrie's talking to Durant in the locker room.
Kyrie was the only one.
Kyrie
clapping
has
for
two fingers up and
they were legitimately saying as they presented the MVP trophy to KD for the All-Star game, Kyrie's the only one clapping.
Yeah.
Everyone else went and saw their families. Shut up.
People reading it. It's awesome.
Like the guys know
So
what
many
they're
stories.
doing. They know they're driving the stories, and that
it's
just
so many stories.
makes it crazy.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. I love it.
Me too.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep. Even did you see the jersey things that Brian Revell put up?
The new jerseys that can change.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's wicked cool. They estimated it'd probably be about $600, but you can rotate between 3 players. So let's say you get a Celtics one, and I want Kyrie, I want Tatum, and I want Hayward.
Oh my God!
So you could rotate them based on the day and stuff.
Bro, that's 3 fits.
What do you think? You're gonna charge it like you battery powered? Like,
all right, I'm already terrified someone's gonna wear that and get like electrocuted.
Yeah,
dude, I feel like that's a really
have
scary.
Have you seen the video,
thing.
Dylan? Yeah.
It looks so futuristic.
Yeah.
Curry to Jordan, right?
Yeah. So it would be the same team because you can't do for any random 3 players because then you're going to lose money. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah. Did they mention like a timetable for it?
No. This is just like the prototype.
Yeah.
Like they dropped it because everyone was down there in Charlotte.
Because I saw the clip and I was like, holy crap, that's
cool. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Jersey's going to get a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
I bet those jerseys will be $250 a pop.
Those?
Yeah.
I bet they're about $600.
You think it'll be that high?
Yeah, because you got to think it's going to be the price of 3.
Oh, that's true.
And they're going to raise the prices. So what is it, about $150 now?
I can't imagine
you think
$650.
$650? No, I say $600.
$600 a lot, man.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna say between $250 and $350. I bet there might be a big change, maybe the first year, and then they'll find a way to make it cheaper. But like, bro, $600, and if that's gonna become the future, bro, that's a lot of money, man.
It's called they're calling it the Smart Jersey.
The Smart Jersey.
It's an NBA app controlled.
That's sick. I like that. That's a cool idea, man. Because if this works, it's going to happen to every other jersey ever. You know,
they said it's probably going to be totally there by 2038.
Oh my God.
So I thought it'd be closer than that.
That's 19 years from now.
That's what it says here. It says
I'll be 30. We'll be 39. You'll be 38.
Yeah. It says NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Yes. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver gave the world a peek of the future of jerseys during this week's NBA All-Star Technology Summit, an event dedicated and illustrating how technology might advance the sport by 2038.
For those that are keeping up with the Pombo and Milliken storyline, Dylan Saraiva is actually 20 years old.
He's 20?
I just found that
He's
out.
only 20?
Yeah. No, but I don't know if you... we'll see what his XFL age says.
Oh, yeah.
No, but, hey, if those jerseys can pop and
I just
become
think
the
it's
next
cool.
thing, bro, that's the kind of innovation we need. Because, like, you start thinking, like, baseball jerseys, bro.
And baseball jerseys are coming back. Like, the look coming back.
Like, jerseys in general, like the retro jerseys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude.
Like, I wear my Kyrie one quite a bit.
Yeah.
You see me with that Kyrie one.
And, like, it's fresh, man.
Dylan's wearing a Rodgers right now.
Like, if you have the ability to start switching, now my real question
like, it's just a click of a button. Dylan wants to wear Randall Cobb or whoever else.
Like, you watching that Packers game.
And you're just like, oh.
Rodgers throws an interception. Switch to that Randall Cobb jersey real quick, man. You know? I don't know. It just depends. Have they talked anything? I'm guessing they probably haven't, about how they're going to determine how they share the players.
They have. This is all we have is that video. There's really not much out of it. Just the Curry one turning into Jordan. Other than that, it says the fully customizable fan experience is aiming to be implemented in NBA jerseys by 2038.
That's what I'm saying, man. We really have no idea. Like, if they're working on things like that, man, we have no idea where technology's at.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw that, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Something that legitimately sounds like
it's new.
A time where we won't be alive.
Yeah.
You know? All right, let's take a break here.
Yep.
We still haven't talked any Anthony Davis yet, and then we got our whole baseball segment in question, so you're not going to want to go anywhere.
Yeah, we might have ranted on that. It's okay.
We'll catch y'all in a few.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
We're back. Sorry.
We had an interesting conversation going.
Dylan was
face tats
showing some crazy things. Yes, I would get a face tat if I could, honestly.
You like the one we just showed you?
No, not that big. That's crazy. But hey, Rocky style. But let's get into it. Anthony Davis, listen. Dell Demps.
He's unemployed.
You're stupid and unemployed. Not just unemployed, Jason.
How long have you been thinking of that one?
A long time. Dude, really, man? Like, bro, I'm reading Wright's letter to New Orleans. Man, you shouldn't have. Stop. Don't thank them for anything. They don't.
What are you reading?
You.
What are you saying?
He wrote a letter to New Orleans. I'm guessing thanking him for their time. Don't write that letter. Listen, the Lakers offered you one of the most insane trades I've ever seen. A trade so crazy that people were saying the Lakers were going insane.
I got a philosophy why he was traded. I'll let you go first.
Why he wasn't traded?
I'm sorry. Why he got fired?
Dell Demps.
I already know why he didn't get traded.
No, I think Dell Demps simply hold on. It was a grudge. He continued to hold through. I think the Lakers offered so much that, no matter what happens, there's no team that's going to be that desperate because you guys have no leverage. You're at the point where you're talking to the NBA about possibly finding a way
Tampering?
and finding a way to bench Anthony Davis. Did you see that article today?
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of leading on to.
They said they were going to fine them $100,000 for every game.
Yep.
Now the Pelicans are trying to go and say, we're playing better without him.
Yeah, so he shouldn't play.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
But I think that was partially why Debs was fired, because in the first game he came back,
he didn't play the
he
fourth
hurt
quarter.
his shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know if he heard it or not, but
no.
Can you imagine if
he talked after
the game? Can you imagine if he
game.
blew out his knee or something?
No, yeah. He talked after the game, didn't he? Yeah, he didn't play the fourth quarter, right?
No.
Yeah, he went up, he talked, they asked him, why didn't you play? He goes, it is what it is, man.
It's a dumpster fire down there.
Listen.
Even the coach, Alvin Gentry, said it. It's a dumpster fire.
You had the Lakers offering players and picks, man. We get to the offseason, you're going to get probably a heavy load of picks, and that's what it is.
That's what it is.
I understand maybe you want to hold here and try to act tough and we're going to ruin you. You're not ruining Anthony Davis. You're just making things harder on yourself.
I really think that
if your girlfriend wants to break up with you, what do you say to her? Oh, we're done. Right?
Yeah,
okay, thank you. You're going to sit there and make it You're like the divorced family living in a house. That's exactly what it is, man. Tell me how that's comfortable for anyone, how that's going to they're going to have a whole bunch of players. They're like the children who become messed up.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Yep, no.
You're ruining everything. You're a fish tank with poison in it.
Oh, look at these analogies.
Listen, man, I got them for days. I got them bars, bro. No, listen, the Pelicans, I don't know what you guys are doing. You're a mess. It's obvious you guys, you share an owner.
They're clearly upset.
Yeah.
I think it's obvious, and I think they felt that there was collusion between Rich Paul, Anthony Davis, and LeBron, which there was, and Magic.
Yeah,
there was.
Yeah.
100% was. Was it dirty?
Yep.
Hell yeah, it was.
But that's the NBA, man. Listen.
And that's why I love it. Because you know what? He will not be a Laker next year. I promise
Anthony
you.
Davis?
He will not.
I think
over their dead body.
If anything, it's going to be one of those frustrating. It's going to be very similar to the Leonard situation, where either he's going to have to go play a year or he's going to get traded and then have to get traded again, which I don't think's crazy. I do think Davis will be a Laker next year.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be through hoops, though, man.
I think by 2020 he could be, depending on where he lands and stuff. But I don't think so.
I think a smart GM is going to take Davis, a team.
I think there's a better chance the Lakers sign a free agent at that point.
I still, but even with Davis,
because
there was still talk about adding another piece.
Because you need to be careful. You have so much focus towards acquiring Anthony Davis, and let's say it falls through, you end up with nothing. But you got guys like Klay Thompson, Durant, who are all free agents July 1. They're not going to be. And so Magic Johnson's going to have to be like, wait, we're trying to get Davis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts.
See, I agree with that. So I think they'll go and they'll make a deal quick. Whether that's Klay, which I hope. I think they'll make a deal quick. No matter what, listen, Anthony Davis wants to be here. The reason they're backing up on everything right now is because they got in trouble. They pushed too hard, and they were getting, there were fines being handed out.
The Pelicans did leak the Lakers' offers, which I thought was awesome. And it threw internal.
It made Magic and them look crazy. They were throwing the whole roster at them.
You think they did?
Yes.
I'm not totally convinced they did.
I think they were at least offering forfeits of those packages.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And that even still was ridiculous. You were destroying an entire young core, years of drafting.
So you're saying you wouldn't have made the move here, LA?
I would not. I listen, things are not looking great for them going into the second half.
Not at all. Right now, if LeBron's groin injury is as significant as people think,
Chris Broussard did say
they could be in the outside of the playoff picture.
Chris Broussard did say on Undisputed this morning he spoke with a source close to LeBron, and they say he hasn't been pushing it too hard.
I think he's really hurt.
No, I agree.
That's just me.
I agree.
I think he's hurt.
He's not trying to force it too much. I think he's scared. I think he realizes if he does push too hard.
Groin injuries are not easy to recover from. They linger, especially when you're in your mid-30s like he is.
And if that
he's never experienced stuff like this. Oh yeah.
No.
The Lakers are in trouble. Magic Johnson sitting there right now, and
sweat's
it's not
pouring
pretty.
down that bald head of his. No, but when it comes to this, I do think Anthony Davis will get there.
I'm not convinced yet. I think there's a long way to go.
I think there'll be hoops. I agree with you on that one. What'd you get out of him saying the Celtics are still on his list? Because his dad was the one who said.
Yeah, I don't care what his dad said.
Agreed. I think his dad was part of it. I think his dad was trying to push it.
No, I think his dad was told by Rich Paul to say it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's why.
I think every team, Anthony Davis is backtracking a little bit, and he's like, hey, honestly, guys, I'm open to any team, this and that. Because he knows he's not.
Anthony Davis known as before all of this? The nice guy.
Yeah, the nice guy.
Now he's a jerk.
You know what? It's not even his fault. I think it's Rich Paul that makes him look like a jerk.
Yes, because Rich Paul thinks he has a little more control than he does.
Horrible PR hit.
Yeah.
Horrible. Well, he might not recover from it.
No, that's why everyone stopped talking about it. Anthony Davis has become a villain.
Oh, my gosh.
And who would have ever thought?
And now he has a chance to really, depending on where he goes, he'll have his own say and depending where he does in 2020.
You know, and he's trying to say, you know, wherever I'll go, I'll be happy just to go do my thing. Listen,
Could be true. It could be. I think it's more his agent than anything else.
I think it depends on where. If he goes to a competitive spot for a year, I think that will.
If he goes to
could change
Boston,
it.
I think the Celtics can convince him to stay. If he goes to Milwaukee, I think they can convince him to stay.
I think it could be very
the
similar to
Clippers,
the Paul
I think they can
George
convince him. The Knicks,
situation.
they can convince him. Yeah.
But if that happens and they can't get a star and say maybe they go
saying
sign
the
a
Lakers?
piece. Yes. Then LeBron. Oh, no one wants to play with LeBron.
And I was thinking this early. I heard it. I don't remember where I heard it. Think about LeBron's career. He's been around since 2003.
Yep.
How many superstars have, as free agents, signed to play with him?
Yeah.
Other than Chris Bosh,
that's it.
like he went to play with Wade. Bosh joined them.
Yeah. Kevin
Cavs
Love was acquired.
Kyrie was already there. How many free agents?
Kyrie left him.
Kyrie left him.
You know, like it says a lot.
0 free agents. Is there
Isaiah
a
wasn't
chance,
exactly happy with his time there.
No, is there any chance that people try to, like, they respect LeBron, of course,
Yeah.
but they try to avoid him per se to get out of his spotlight? Like Paul George did the same thing
You
last
play
offseason.
with LeBron, you're LeBron's son. Legitimately.
You're Nick
You're
Wright.
eating dinner.
You're Nick Wright.
You're eating you're eating dinner with LeBron Jr. You're sitting at the table. LeBron's bringing the food to the table. You don't do anything. You're not in control of anything. LeBron's about to bully out another coach.
Yeah, Luke Walton's gone.
Luke Walton it must be.
And I heard they might bring back Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, and listen, Tyronn
Burnett's
Lue,
already taken his victory lap.
But even with Tyronn Lue at the time, they weren't happy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They were having their own issues. We remember David Blatt got him to the finals.
Yeah,
He
Mike
got him
Brown
booted.
canned.
Yeah. LeBron picks and chooses what he wants, and it has to be
And
his
I think
way.
That's why I don't know the Lakers' future is going to bring.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I don't think LeBron will ever win a title again.
I don't think the young
I don't
guys
think they
rock
do.
with LeBron on that Lakers team. How can you? He said, all of you, get out.
Do you remember
Go.
the picture of the bench where he's
Yes.
sitting 4 seats over?
Because that's what it is, dude. He's become the old guy who has to have it his way. I still think LeBron's going to be a very good player. Right now, do you think he's the best player in the world? A lot of people said KD.
I want to say Harden right now.
Yeah,
But two-way.
I can't give it Harden after.
It's close.
Yeah,
Right
with
now-
his playoff struggles, his point streak right now. Don't get me wrong, ridiculous. Something
It's just tough to look past that right now. But KD's right in the conversation.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are saying KD's the best player in the world, you know, and that was after the last finals. You know,
he pants LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. Hit it right in his face. Said, "Game, bro. Huh? Go take a seat, Bron.
Yeah.
You know.
Go sit near Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp's waiting for you, bro. He's right outside the stadium. But like, listen. I hope for LeBron's sake these things start to click or it's going to get really rough in LA.
I think there's a real shot it could get rough because what if, again, like I just mentioned, they strike out on Davis.
God.
They strike out and he goes to the Celtics.
Not only-
and he re-ups there with Kyrie, who left LeBron. Oh.
Now, my one question is, if Anthony Davis ends up with the Celtics and the Celtics keep pushing that interest because Kyrie leaves, Kyrie goes to LA.
I think if Anthony Davis is acquired, Kyrie stays. I do.
My question is, if it's at that point, if Kyrie has it up in his mind and he's dipping, and then they go Anthony Davis.
And another thing that's, I know everyone's saying the Knicks rumor with KD and Kyrie. Keep an eye on KD getting a meeting with the Celtics. That's all I'm saying. Jackie McMullen had an article about a month ago. I just think it's a possibility.
Do you see what Joe Murray said?
What Joe Murray? You know what I did?
Yeah,
see it. Yes,
he was
98.5,
talking.
yes.
He was kind of leaning it. So hey, man, those kind of stories.
I mean,
usually,
you got would you be surprised if Danny Ainge and Kyrie were just sitting there and you're like, screw Davis.
Yeah.
Let's go get KD.
That
Screw
would
it.
be insane.
Screw it. We'll trade Hayward, sign and trade. The mathematics work. You would include Hayward.
My question is, how does Danny Ainge feel about how everything happened last time?
Oh, he would do it in a heartbeat.
I'm just.
He'd sell his own son for a second-round pick.
No, I'm just curious. It feels like a very weird situation there.
Well, Katie said it a few times, not publicly, but he's kind of inferred. Celtics were number 2 on his list.
Yeah, no, he's definitely.
If Golden State was like, no, we don't want you, he was coming to Boston.
I think it's just an interesting situation. I think Katie cares
Danny
a lot.
Ainge has a great relationship with Durant's mother. He has a great relationship in terms of business. I don't know. It's just something to keep an eye on.
No, I don't think it's ridiculous.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
I just think it's a situation.
Such a curveball.
Yeah, I just
in the Celtics core.
I think
Tatum, KD, and Kyrie.
to himself.
You don't have to give up Tatum. You don't have to give up Brown. But then you look from a Golden State aspect. You get Hayward in return, who was a previous All-Star.
Yeah.
Instead, if he walks and goes to the Clippers or the Knicks or something, at least you get something back for him.
I don't think that's the angle KD's going to go. I think KD.
I just think it's an option.
I think it's a very low percentage option because I think no matter what, KD's going to feel a little bit.
Do you think the Celtics
weird.
get a meeting? I think they do.
Yes, no, I think they get a meeting, but I think it's a very weird meeting, and it's a meeting KD does
That would be
just to have the
crazy.
meeting. And that's the thing. You
and I
get
would
Danny
want
Ainge
that-
in a room with him, who knows? Like, that's what I'll
He
admit.
bought Brady last time.
Exactly.
He has
But
all sorts of things
Tom
up his
Brady
sleeve.
wasn't enough to convince you, that's weird. That's a little bit of a weird
Yeah,
situation.
no, that's
here.
weird.
You know what I mean? People are going to look at you a little differently. And my thing is, I think KD.
As Dylan just put it, Danny Ainge almost got him to sign when he had a meeting outside of Brady Ortiz. He brought in Isaiah Thomas, Jake Crowder, and Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
And they almost signed KD.
Almost.
Imagine when you have sincere
Almost.
Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving,
But
Brad Stevens. I don't know.
that's the
I think it's
thing.
interesting.
Even if KD comes here, it's not his team.
You still think it's Kyrie's team?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
Kyrie's the mental lead. He's the character guy.
I think Katie. I don't know.
KD ain't telling nobody nothing.
You don't think
got
so?
bullied by Russell Westbrook for however long he was with OKC. He got bullied on a regular basis.
All I'm saying, I think it's a possibility. It
draft
could be
night-
low. It could be low, but the Celtics will get a meeting. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think you put Kevin Durant in a situation with an alpha dog. He's not. Kevin Durant is not an alpha dog. Maybe on the court, yeah. He's not in the locker room. He hasn't been an alpha dog in Golden State. Draymond Green is bullying him.
If that's the case, then I'm not too concerned. If Kyrie's the leader of that team still, and you have KD, you have Jason
But I
Tatum, I'm
think
not
KD
concerned.
wants to be a leader.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
You see, I think he knows he has to leave Golden State now
Yep.
because everyone is going to tell him to the end of time, you just won your championships the easy way, this and that. You joined the greatest team already in NBA history. They were 72-10.
Yeah, like
this and that.
you look 8 years with OKC, obviously won with the Sonics.
Yep.
Bro, bullied that whole time. He got bullied. Golden State, that's Steph's team. What did Draymond call him? We can't even say it on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't care what Draymond
But
said.
dog,
though. I
if
don't care
someone's
what he
willing to
says.
say that to you and you're on their team,
That's-
you're not the
Well,
alpha
you know
dog.
what? Draymond should think a little bit because now arguably the best player in the world is going to leave you.
Yes, no, I agree with that. But if people are willing to say that, and Draymond's not a guy who just says stuff, he speaks truth. That's what it is. He's real. That's why people like him. If he's calling you that, hey, man.
Well, you know what? There's some bumps and bruises, but a team led by KD, Kyrie, and Tatum is a championship caliber team. That's all.
No, I 100% agree with you. I
These
just
are
think the road
favorites, yep.
there is full of so many bumps, you might crash off the road.
I have no idea what KD's thinking. I think the Clippers are an option. I think the Knicks are. I think even staying in Golden State is an option. I think
yes, I agree with that.
Dallas is an option. I think he has a whole bunch of options.
That
you
would
like that
be
one,
a lot
Tyler?
of
I knew
fun.
you like that
I
one.
would like that one.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know where he went to college? Where did he go to college?
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Longhorn. He was a cover at NCAA
8, I think.
08, yeah. I want to say you're right. Love was 09.
My point is, that's where he went to college.
Yeah.
And that's where he spent a good portion of his life. That's another option to keep an eye out.
Yeah. All right. So we switch to this MLB talk?
Let's switch it.
Big story of the day. Manny Machado signs the biggest free agent contract in American sports history.
10
years, $300 million.
Opt out after 5?
Yes, opt out after the 5th year. The Padres have now spent $474 million in free agency over the past 2 seasons. That's tops in the majors.
On how many guys, though? Was it between him
and
Hosmer, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and just as a comparison, San Diego spent a combined $309 million in free agency over the previous 25 seasons.
Wow. So is that the new ownership?
Yes.
Or is that just
new GM? AJ Preller over there, very smart guy. No matter what,
So you
even
like
if he
this
got
move?
suspended.
You like this move?
Yes, dude. Ever since the Padres ran up on the Red Sox and robbed us, taking Logan Allen from us in that Craig Kimbrell trade, you've been able to see they know what they're doing. There's a reason. So now, don't get me wrong, the Padres aren't competing this year, but you have Manny Machado, you have Eric Hosmer, right? 2 very interesting pieces. You have the best farm system in baseball, according to Keith Law, who, you know, if you're looking at guys that get opinions from, he's probably the guy. You know, not that you have too many other pieces besides that, but there's something starting to form there. You know, there's 2 star players.
But can't you just see
Guys
Machado
move up.
go in there to die? Just in terms of
I think their
his
biggest
career just sits in San Diego, and you really don't hear much of him after.
My biggest concern is how hard he'll work in a place where they're not going to be competitive. But you look at Baltimore; he was still a very good player, even when Baltimore was in the cellar. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
He had his best season, and
But
Baltimore
maybe
was
it's because
horrendous.
we're from a Red Sox perspective. How many people in L.A. or San Diego heard about him in Baltimore? I know we really did because there was beef with Pedroia.
Yeah, baseball. No matter what, the guy got a 10-year, $300 million contract.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not
you know,
knocking that. Yeah.
Sports fans know who he is. You know, he was the last out of the World Series.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think it would have been a better option for him to go to New York or
Yes.
Philly?
I think it would have been a way better option brand-wise to go
for
to
baseball,
New York.
if he went to New York,
He would have
awesome.
been Alex Rodriguez 2.0.
Would have been awesome.
That's exactly what it would have been.
awesome.
The
From an
10
entertainment perspective, because
Yeah.
he already hates the Red Sox as it is.
Yeah, what? A-Rod's deal was 10
years, 275?
Yeah, I believe so off the top of... Yeah, that sounds right. You look at Manny Machado, he's 10 years, $300 million. He's the new generation A-Rod.
Yep.
A-Rod at the time joined
everything.
a locked team, a studded team.
Yep.
That's what that would have been. But now
2009. What was it? No. When did A-Rod join?
A-Rod? Oh, 2004.
4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm 4. I'm thinking Teixeira was 09.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
A-Rod's
it was the Manny A-Rod
Yes,
whole
yes,
talk.
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's going to go to San Diego. I think he'll be a very good player. I think it's going to be a couple more years so the Padres are competitive, and I don't know.
Does he have the patience?
I don't know.
He must.
When he was with
he's living the American dream. He's sitting there, warm San Diego, getting paid $30 million a year,
and he gets to look at Eric Hosmer. That's it. It's probably the only player he knows.
Oh, Hosmer was a big influence on him.
Yeah,
I heard.
Maybe Manuel Margot, sitting out in center field, former Red Sox.
Of course,
boss.
you like him. Right?
No, I hate him.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
I was so happy when he got dealt. I thought he was a
Who
useless
else is over there in San Diego?
Not too much,
Not
man.
too much,
It's
right?
Let's pull up the roster. Let's go down the names. Logan Allen coming up. I believe he made it to AAA last year. He's gonna be a stud, man. John Lester 2.0.
Next year?
Probably, yeah. Some point in the season. He's like filthy, man.
So what did San Diego sell him on other than the weather?
It's the core. They have the best farm system.
Do you think the long term? Machado's a young guy. Was he 26?
Yeah.
27?
So you look at the farm system the way it is, all their guys are like AA, AAA. Like they're really close. Their team's not awful. You know, they got Will Myers.
Yeah, he was a name, Tampa Bay.
30 home runs in 2017, right?
Tampa Bay gave up on him.
Yeah. Kinsler at second base.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He's over there. Kirby Yates is their closer. Craig Stammen is over there. So
What do they got for starting pitchers?
Bad. Very bad. Robbie Erlin's their number 3. Like it's Brian Mitchell's their number 5.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Lucchesi's their number 1.
Well, at least I've known the name.
Yeah, like this
basically a who.
Yeah, exactly. None of these guys are anything. Hunter Renfroe in right field is a very promising
he's a
prospect.
kid, right?
Yeah. Cordero, big power, but I don't think he's going to be a.
So where's Machado playing?
Piece.
Short or third?
Long term.
Shortstop or third base? Where's he playing?
Third base. Shortstop. I don't know, though. Maybe that was part of his deal. The details haven't come out yet. I wouldn't be stunned if he told them, I want to play shortstop, and that was a must. But he was not a very good shortstop last year. He was pretty below average. I believe he was third worst at the position in terms of defensive runs saved.
What happened with Chicago? They pull out?
So, did you hear what Chicago said today?
They said they wouldn't go to that length or something,
No,
right? Didn't
they said they believe they had the highest offer on the table.
Yeah, they did, yes.
Now, that's what's weird to me. So, the whole story the past 2 weeks has been Machado will take the highest deal. That's all he wants. Which, you look at Manny Machado, it doesn't surprise me.
Did the Yankees give a formal offer? I know there's been conflicting.
Yeah, but it was a lot cheaper.
I think it was like 200.
200 mil, yeah, something like 200 mil. And listen, I get it, man. They're
was
stocked.
8 for 200 or something.
Yeah, they're stocked on talent, man.
If you wanted to win, that's the place to go.
I
that's
agree.
the place to go.
Like, I think they're
and for his brand.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be the Yankees. Yeah, obviously you're not going to be as good as if you had Manny Machado, but they're not that much worse.
No, obviously not.
Didi Gregorius is a very good shortstop.
Gleyber Torres, he's still there. You still have Andujar. Looks like they're going to end up keeping him.
At least for this year, maybe he gets dealt around the deadline or whatever. But yeah, the Padres, they're going to be a really rough team this year. But hopefully, pieces come up. Logan Allen makes those steps. I think this is so Manny Machado. It's so money hungry, and most of the time these deals are not worth it. Never are.
I mean, if you look at the history of the long-term deals, how many have been worth it?
Not many. Look at Giancarlo. He had an average season.
Look at Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah. Listen, I get it when the guy won a triple crown.
That's the worst contract in baseball, man.
And I think, even when he's been healthy, he still hits well. Just can't play defense, man.
That's a bad.
Yeah.
Can't stay healthy.
His body gave up. He's chubby. You know what I mean?
Oh, my gosh. I think his contract would have been done when he's 41, 42.
Look, no, the worst contract is Albert Pujols. Let me get you there.
But you know what?
That
was 11 years, 220, 230?
Something like
Even at the time, though, he was awesome at St. Louis, though.
But the first year,
you take away the length, and it's not as bad.
No, but you look at it, right? He never was himself. He was never Albert Pujols in L.A.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
Like, Miguel Cabrera still was great for a couple years, at least somewhat of a great hitter. Albert Pujols has been maybe slightly above average at best. But now, what do we got? Bryce Harper, real quick. I think Bryce Harper signs by the end of the week for something close to $350.
Heading to the Phillies.
At least I got one of them.
Yeah.
Right? I said Harper to the Phillies, right?
You thought there was a chance they both could end up there.
Yes, I did think that for a little bit. But I think I thought Machado was going to end up in New York. I really did. I'm surprised. I thought he cared about baseball more personally. But hey, we'll see what happens. Craig Kimbrell, right?
Your guy's still on the market. Where is he going to land?
So Tom Werner came out and said yesterday, I think it's extremely unlikely, quote unquote, referring to them bringing back Kimbrell. I don't think it's impossible. I think as time goes, he's getting closer and closer to a 1-year deal. He is,
Where do you think possible landing spots are?
At this point, I think it's going to be a mid-tier team trying to make a big jump.
You got a name on the top of your head?
Honestly,
if not, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I'd say probably Atlanta.
The Braves?
Yeah.
Still.
I think if some...
Even the Phillies, they went with another option. I forgot who they went with.
Yeah, well, they actually... David Robertson.
Yeah.
And they already had a lot of pieces there. I think, Atlanta might be the team. And I think, if anything, I think the long-term deal's out. He's not getting a long-term deal.
Why do you think is that?
I think it's solely off of...
Was it he was a little shaky during the postseason? Was that?
No. So, I was reading, I was kind of going through a lot of people. Eric Gagne, remember he gave him the tip to fix his tip. He was tipping pitches. Eric Gagne texted him and fixed it. And after that, he was fine. I think with Craig Kimbrell, people don't want to shelf out money for an elite closer anymore. People look at the Aroldis Chapman deal. A lot of people push back on that stuff. I think you see Ryan Brazier, guys like that with the Red Sox. Teams are starting to believe I can turn guys into great relievers.
So is that going to really deteriorate the
elite? I think in 10 years, the closer won't be a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a thing. I don't think it'll be as important.
I think maybe there'll be 1 or 2. Maybe 3.
So there's no more Mariano Rivera's per se.
I don't think there'll be anyone like that again. I think teams are getting so analytically forward that they're going to go for the best matchup.
They can pay Joe Schmo $500K, who played in China for 10 years.
Yeah.
Instead of paying Craig Kimbrell $21 million.
If you have a special spin rate, yep.
Yes.
Or if Brian Bannister likes him.
Tyler, that's sad.
Yeah.
That seems sad. That's too much.
I agree, man.
Like, not everyone. I know you were a big Kimbrell guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest Kimbrell guy in the world, but you'd have to.
He was an all-star
You got to feel
year
for the
he was
guy.
here,
You got to
man.
feel for the guy.
Yeah, like he was looking. I didn't even think he was asking. He wanted 5-6 years around 100, 120, maybe closer to 150. I think at the end of the day,
was getting a 15 a year.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to sign either 1 year like 40 million or 40 million, 1 year 20 million or 20.
Does he want to go back in free agency?
I think he's not going to have a choice. I don't think anyone's going to offer him a long-term deal that's suitable or not embarrassing. I think he's going to end up going to maybe like Atlanta, 2 years, like 42, something like that, where they'll ball out for 2 years, but no one's going to go long-term.
Why don't the Red Sox want him?
I think they have faith in their guys. I think Craig
Kimbrell. Trying to segue to your thing, Tyler.
Yes. I think the Red Sox themselves, I think as much as people want to complain about what they've done, I think they believe they can find guys like Ryan Brazier. Colton Brewer's apparently the new guy for them. Alex Cora has been raving about him throughout camp. I don't know. It's with Craig Kimbrell, I don't think anyone wants to commit to one guy in a bullpen if he's not going to be pitching 200 innings like that, so we look at spring training, right? Right now we have in the bullpen itself, these are some of the invites. Erasmo Ramirez, Seattle, he started a lot of games for them the past couple of years. Ryan Weber, Zach Putnam, who was a very good reliever in Chicago.
He's got a good spin rate.
I'm not sure on his spin rate, 110.
No?
I think it's solid.
What about the FIP?
The FIP is solid. He had a 149 ERA. I believe in what year is it? 2019?
Or 19.
Well, we just played the 2018 season. He didn't pitch in 2017. 2016, he pitched 7 games. This is off the top of my head. I think it was a 149. He had a rough year the year before that, 407, but the FIP lined up. It wasn't outrageous. And the year before that was mid-2s or something like that.
So why was he just open for a minor league deal?
Tommy John. He was he's a middle reliever who had Tommy John.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love these Tommy John guys.
Yeah. I think Putnam could come in. He'll be a good 7th inning guy. He closed some games for the White Sox at times, so I don't think it's ridiculous. Good velocity, good movement. I showed you guys some film. We
watched him.
Wasn't too bad, right?
No.
But then you got Jenry Mejia. I have no clue how he's going to pan out. I think he could be really good, but sometimes you pull.
What about that Colton Brewer kid?
I don't know.
The next Ryan Brazier.
If the Red Sox are talking about him like this, it means something. Because this is how they've talked about other guys before, and it's worked.
Ryan Brazier.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to see it. I don't think he's going to be as good as Ryan Brazier. I think that's ridiculous. Ryan Brazier had a 1.61 ERA last year. Like, that's insane.
Dylan's guy.
Yeah. But I think Colton Brewer could come and have, like, maybe a good season, like a 280.
So who's the closer game 1?
Closer by committee.
Who's coming out first? It's 3-2.
We're playing in Seattle to start the year. I'll go... It depends on the situation.
Who's coming up? Do they start it by...
What's the situation?
It's 3-2.
Is it a safe situation?
Yeah, 3-2. Bottom line.
Matt Barnes. I go.
Yeah. Is it because he's been there longer?
Yeah.
You give it to him?
Matt Barnes has been there longer. He's pitches the 8th inning guy pretty consistently. Ryan Brazier, yes, he did pitch a lot of big innings.
Sale pitches the first 7. He lost 2 runs. Who pitches the 8th?
Brazier.
Brazier the 8th, Barnes in the 9th.
Yes.
And then the next day, do they rotate it?
The leash is so short, yes. I think the next day, if it fits the splits or, analytic wise, they like Brazier in that situation, it'll be Brazier that day. I don't think they're going to commit to one single. Oh God, basketball
we're good,
game's
baby.
on.
We're good.
Check out Intramural Basketball at Curry College.
7:30.
LeBron's hairline.
LeBron's hairline. Goddamn, Matt Burnett. How you gonna do him like that? Wait, is that not what you meant? Dang. Oh no, Matt. Please don't be listening. Not in front of your girl. Jason, come back to the mic. Save me, please.
Oh my goodness.
Goddamn.
Oh my goodness. We're screwed.
Yes. But all these different guys.
Let's go back to talking some FIP.
Yes, some FIP.
Let's not talk about LeBron's hairline.
But Colton Brewer, I think he'll be solid. God. I don't know what's going to play out with the ninth inning. I think it'll just be similar to 2003. Closer by committee. I think we have more talent, so it won't be as much of a disaster.
Could that come to hurt them come postseason?
Yeah, just like it could have hurt them this past year when they didn't have too many names besides Kimbrel.
True.
You know, let's think.
I thought Kelly was awesome in the postseason.
But leading up to the postseason, he was horrendous.
True.
You know, people were saying he should be left off the postseason roster.
Yeah.
So my guess is, I think here I got the depth chart. I'll give you my prediction. I think it's Barnes, Brazier, Workman,
Thornburg,
Hembree, Thornburg, Velasquez, and
Johnson.
No. You got to pick between Hector Velasquez and Brian Johnson at this point. They're redundant.
What about your guy Brewer? You can start in the AAA?
I think Brewer's on the major league roster. I think he's the last guy.
So what about the other kid from Chicago?
That's where you start to move things around. My guess is they deal Heath Hembree.
Oh.
Yes, I think they deal Heath Hembree and keep Zach Boonham. So I think Workman, you can't get rid of him for one reason. It's the splits. He's very good against lefties.
Who could come out of come out of the woods and end up really taking control of this bullpen in terms of a closing
Tyler
standpoint?
Thornburg. I think if Thornburg turns into who he was at the time of the Travis Shaw trade that season before, yeah, it's him.
Right.
I think he has the most talent.
So you're comfortable with the bullpen?
Yes. I think it's good enough to start the year. You're going to need to make a move at the deadline. You need to get at least one more. Unless all these guys click.
You don't have any prospects.
You do. You have some names. A lot of people.
Who's starting against Northeastern? It's that Schwarm guy, right?
Mike Schwarm.
Are you a Mike Schwarm guy?
Yep, I am.
Yeah, you
not
watching him versus Northeastern?
Yes, I will. February 21st.
Oh yeah, that's Friday.
Yes,
or
Saturday.
Thursday.
I think it's Saturday the 22nd. Yeah,
okay.
No. So in terms of making a deal, actually the Red Sox system's starting to stock a little bit up.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think if they call on someone, I think it's more likely actually they pull from the farm system. Feltman or Darwinzon Hernandez. Darwinzon Hernandez is soaring through rankings right now.
So you're done with Brian Johnson, huh?
Yeah. Brian Johnson, listen, besides that complete game he had,
once.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't throw hard enough.
He's a puddle.
Yeah, he's fine. You can find him anywhere. He's Aaron Cook. He's insert whatever.
Aaron Cook. He's Felix Dubras.
Yeah. Insert any random starter that, is a sixth guy on a rotation or anything like that. I think if you want to bring up a guy impact, it'll be Durbin Feltman.
I think Stephen Wright's a guy to keep an eye on this year.
I'm worried.
Are you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I'm cautiously optimistic that he really could make an impact.
Have you heard what he's been saying about his knee?
Yeah, I know what he's saying about his knee.
I don't know.
I think it's a lot of mental stuff.
Yeah, with him saying that he's it's never going to be the same. He's not fully healthy. That makes me a little anxious heading into the season, especially for knuckleballers who are so sensitive. Like one thing's wrong, it's raining, and they can't throw the ball. You know what I mean?
Even making a spot relief, I think he could close. I think that's a real possibility.
Stephen Wright, no,
You don't think so?
That knuckleball in the ninth inning.
Oh, I don't know, man.
You get a guy on base.
You couldn't see him experiment with that stuff.
Nope.
Oh, I think they're going to try anything.
No, I think that's scary. You can't put a knuckleball in the ninth inning. Tim Wakefield, you remember what happened last time they put him?
Yes, we know. 2003,
Aaron Boone. Boom.
Yeah, Aaron Boone.
Yeah, let's not play this game.
You gave Aaron Boone a job.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And how's he doing at that job? Yeah, thank you.
Decent.
He got barely average. Barely.
You think he's average? Yeah.
Barely.
That's about it.
I think he's one of those guys. No needle doesn't move either way.
Sure. All right. Do you want to talk about some rule proposals, or you want to take a quick break?
I think we can go through.
All right.
Honestly,
hit it up.
I just want to hit real quick though. Darwinzon Hernandez. If you don't know him, look him up. A lot of talk on the Sox Prospects podcast. Boom, little tongue twister.
You're not on that yet?
Yeah. Throws heat close to 100. Huge lefty. Insane breaking ball. Develops a third pitch. He's going to be one of the best starters in baseball.
Keep an eye on him, Dylan.
Very low chance, but if he does.
Dylan just marked it down on his calendar.
Yes. What are we going to talk about? Do you want to talk Pedroia or you want to talk?
Well, we'll talk Pedroia.
All right.
Hit up that sound.
Let's play our sound real quick.
I'm okay, but I have to be smart, because, if I play out of control or do something, I could wake up the next day and it could be bad. So, I don't want to work for as long as I have to mess that up, and.
So I'm the Dustin Pedroia fanboy who said that Dustin Pedroia would need to be a crucial part for them to win a World Series.
That was fortunately incorrect.
No, yes. But Dustin Pedroia coming back this year, this is the least confident I've heard him in a long time. That really
Do you
scares
think he's
me.
going to totally limit? Do you think Corey's going to totally limit how much he plays, and is he willing to change his playing style?
I don't think he can. I think it's not even.
You think it's natural?
Yeah. He can't help himself. They've told him for years. This injury didn't start. The guy got screws in his knee.
He has a new knee, right? Basically.
Yeah, and he said that too.
Yeah,
he was
like,
it's not my knee.
Yeah.
But like before, we remember he got screws in his knee and he still was doing these things. It's not like that ball comes up the middle. He's not going to be like, oh, that's not him. And if he turns into that, then he's not going to be a good baseball player. Dustin Pedroia, a lot of his value comes from fielding. If he's going to be a below average fielder,
you think he's going to start the year?
I think he's on. I don't know. It seems like right now he could be on pace for opening day, but I'm not saying anything until I start seeing if he can play.
So
games.
if not, you go a combination of Nunez and/or Holt.
Yeah. I have Zue Lin on the roster as well. I think it's crucial. We have a caller. Intern Dylan, please grab that.
Hello, this is Dylan from WMLN.
Boom! Look at Dylan, the best intern you can imagine.
I hope it's Burnett.
Oh my God, if it's Burnett, I'm going to leave the radio station. Definitely not Burnett.
For who?
Oh, we got something going on. Let's just continue. Okay.
I'm not sure who would have called you from this number.
No, okay. We don't have fans. No fans. Sorry for that.
Hang up, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What were we just talking about, Dustin Pedroia?
Yes.
I think with Pedroia himself, the fact that he's this unconfident, this worried, I can't imagine he has more than 2 seasons left in the tank.
He gets 3 years on his deal.
Yeah, I don't think he makes it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's sad.
You think they could use him as a DH?
Nope.
Well, they really can't because you have JD
there. There's no room. It's sad. There's no room. There's already a log jam. Even with him.
Are you confident with their second base platoon?
Not really.
Are you getting back on the Brock Holt bandwagon?
Nope.
You still off?
Nope. I believe he'll hit 230 this year.
If it's the every other year.
Yeah.
With Brock Holt, yeah.
I'm not buying into Brock Holt.
What about Nunez? Do you see? He said he could.
Nope.
He said at this time last year he couldn't walk.
Yeah, he still can't walk. Eduardo Nunez. That's John, I think, Dill. I think overall, Zue Lin, you kind of look at him. You hope Marco Hernandez finds a way to get healthy this year.
You've been holding on to him for years.
I'm not letting go. He needs half a season down in the minors, though. You can't bring him up. He hasn't hit in 2 years, And
so, in terms of second base positioning, you're okay with it for at least a short, intermediate.
You can get by. This offense is too good, but you've seen how important defense is to this team, so we'll see how long. Xander Bogaerts will not be as good as he was at shortstop last year. For the most part, his career has not reflected those numbers.
He was awesome last year.
He was. He made a lot of big plays when we needed him to. I don't love second base between Nunez and Holt. I think Zue Lin could get up there. And
you think Bogaerts resigns?
No.
I hope so.
I agree. He did say, I'll give him credit, he would like to stay here.
Yeah.
But
it's more than what Betts has said.
Listen, if I'm the Red Sox, I don't offer him anything near that because he's not a shortstop. He's
really?
Not.
You wouldn't touch him, huh?
No. If he wants to play third base, but we have Rafael Devers.
So you move him to first?
Then that's a conversation. That's a weird spot because say you move that.
I thought Bogart was above average defensively last year. Throughout his career, he's been average, correct?
No, below average.
A little below average?
Extremely below average for the most part. There's been some outliers. I can't remember 2015, 2016. One of those years he had a decent season there, but he's never been above average, really. It's always, the throwing. He makes a lot of throwing errors. It's just, if you do move Devers over to first base.
Because I don't know how long Devers can stay at third.
Yeah. It comes down to the Red Sox philosophy. They believe he can stay. I hope he lost some weight.
Does it look like he lost weight? It looks like Benintendi put some weight on.
Which I think is good. I needed to see that. Start hitting those home runs, man. He has a swing
Should
for
be.
it. When it comes to Devers, he doesn't look like he lost too much or really bulked up in any way. So I think maybe first base might end up being a thing. Make me look bad.
Does that mean Buster Olney was right?
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, maybe.
Well, you were right for the first 3 years, 4 years.
Not bad, right?
No.
But if you do move him to first base, then you have a really weird spot because Michael Chavis is pretty much a first baseman at that point. He's your number one prospect, according to some lists. Bobby Delbick's a third baseman. First base is really the only other position.
You see, at that point, I feel we don't know who's going to stay, who's going to go.
Exactly. So maybe if you do move Devers over, you have some chips. That's the only way you can really look at it.
Go all in on whoever.
Yeah, and at first base, like I think if Mitch Moreland struggles really bad, that kind of Steve Pearce platoon, I think you could see them make a quick move to Chavis in the middle of the year. If he's raking, like you got to look, Chavis has hit really well the last couple of years. If he's hitting like, say he plays through July and he's hitting 290 with 20 jacks.
In Pawtucket, yeah.
Yeah, you'd call him up to play first base, right?
Yeah, especially with the uncertainty of Moreland and Pearce.
Exactly. So who knows how it's going to play out, but I don't know. I don't feel good about Dustin Pedroia. They said they're hoping he can play 120 games. I'd be shocked if he played 100.
Cap it at 110.
Yeah. I think 100 would be a miracle at this point. And he was taking grounders in his World Series jersey. Oh, my God. That's heartbreaking. Baseball is this guy's everything, you know?
It's unfortunate.
And, he couldn't play, and that probably was the worst feeling ever.
He wanted to. He was pushed it.
Bro, he
didn't Dombrowski say, Dombrowski, I think he said Pedroia was sending him videos of him running. And
dude, Pedroia would have done every single thing he could have. He just...
No, they prefer Ian Kinsler.
Oh, God, I hate Ian Kinsler. I never want to see his face again. I stay in San Diego where I don't have to watch you, please.
Oh, he's living it up, man.
Yeah, living up something. Real quick, we got, 10 minutes?
About 10 minutes, yep.
Yeah, we're pushing a little here. Real quick on the MLB rule proposal.
Yep, you can hit it. We have 5 minutes with 5 minutes of questions.
Yeah. So basically, dueling proposals from MLB on January 14th. This is kind of what the Players Union offered. A 3-batter minimum for pitchers. The only exceptions to this rule, if a pitcher ends an inning, they can be pulled, or if they're injured. Then you don't have to go the 3 batters, but otherwise, you're going that way. People are upset about the lefty-only rule. The loogie is the term a lot of people use for it. I don't think it's impossible to still keep it. I just think it becomes less valuable. And if anything, that means making people a better pitcher. Sorry, but roles change in baseball,
So you're down for that?
Yeah.
And you explained to me the little, what's the loophole?
Yes, exactly. I think it might be something that will happen. It might not be something that happens right away, but down the line it might be forced. The universal designated hitter. I know you're a fan.
I'm for. Absolutely.
I'm against.
100%.
I'm a baseball.
I think
hardo.
It'll help in terms of it's another position for the NL in terms of getting paid.
More hitters. That's what sells.
More hitters. Exactly. Hitting sells. Home run sell, and then you don't limit JD Martinez from just signing in the AL.
I just love seeing guys like Bumgarner hit or Scherzer.
Yeah, but there's two or three of them tops.
Yeah,
like Bartolo Colon, I enjoy seeing him hit.
Yeah,
but other than that, like, I don't want to see David Price go up and hit.
Do you remember?
I don't want to see John Lester go up and hit.
Josh Beckett?
I don't want to see Josh Beckett go and hit. I don't want to. Like, it's a way, like, I understand you strategize more. There's more strategy. There's more the manager has to worry about.
You may have one of these players. You might have a pitcher hitter. There's one in the farm system possibly. Trey Ball.
Oh God!
He's now a full.
Don't get me on Trey Ball.
No, there's a lot of people talking. He might be starting to do both.
Please
make him a lefty only.
Please.
No, they'll make him a lefty only specialist and a hitter.
Gosh,
crazy.
The biggest whiff of a first round pick in
7th overall, 2013.
Yep, never forget.
I don't know. I think it's a good divide. If I'm trying to go for the younger fans, though, I would do it.
Do you think they do it?
Yeah, I think it's probably not this year, but next year.
Okay.
A single trade deadline before the All-Star break? Hell yes. It moves the free agent market. People are going to have to be good earlier in the year.
You got a rough estimate of where it could be?
No. I'd probably say July All-Star break, probably end of June. Yeah.
Ooh.
2 weeks leading. All-Star break's usually the middle of the
July 15th, July 13th.
Yeah, I think probably end of June, mid-June. At that point, you know where you are in the season.
That's what the NBA did.
Yeah.
And it's been good.
Yeah. Think about how many teams are still in the race at that point. You know what I'm saying?
And then, you have the second wild card. It really, their whole idea was to have more. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
So it'll be like no more tanking. People are looking at the Orioles and they're disgusted.
Oh, that's a joke.
Because they're just tanking at this point. A 20-second pitch clock. If you don't think that's needed, you're an idiot and you should move away from the sport.
Yes. I agree with you.
The expansion of rosters to 26 men with the 12-picture maximum in September.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, totally fine with that. Draft advantages for winning teams and penalties for losing teams. Yup, stop tanking. People talked about this in the NBA for a long time. Yeah. It's needed in baseball because it's getting to the point like we had the Astros who were losing 50 games or winning 50 games in a year back before this run.
And look at it worked out for them.
Yeah, and look at the Orioles. There's a reward to it, but it's not good for the sport.
And it takes 5 to 7 years for that to work out.
Exactly.
Because you draft a kid first overall. You're not going to see the kid for 3 years.
Yeah, at least. That's a good day. And then a study to lower the mound is taking place. So that could be,
to help hitters.
Exactly. Whether it's, lower the mound, baseball players can see a little less movement on pitches. Do I think it's needed? It depends. If batters keep getting dominated like they did this year, yeah.
How do you think in terms of baseball as a whole, where do you think they stand? Are they in an okay position moving forward? Are they losing interest?
I think at this point they're at a very consistent.
They're behind the NBA, I think. I think it's
agreed.
pretty clear now.
I think it's just like a plateau, kind of, if that makes sense.
It's like them and the NHL. They're very similar. They're both very stuck on their old beliefs.
Really falling out. I think the NHL and the MLB are totally different levels. Baseball,
Think so?
MLB made probably triple the money.
That's true.
the
You know
NHL
what? The
made.
baseball getting paid.
Yeah.
The guy just got $300 million.
Exactly.
Sidney Crosby makes like $8 million a year.
Exactly. Like no
You're
matter
right.
what the
You're right.
MLB, like
You're right.
they have so many. Like the broadcast deals are billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like
No, that's a good point.
you know, in MLB postseason baseball, as much as people talk trash all year, people tune into that.
All right,
every
50
time.
years from now, where's baseball?
I think it's still here. I think it's a lot more modern. I think there's robot empires.
Really?
Yeah,
You think they
yeah.
eventually move into that?
Yep,
As
I
Nate's
do.
been crying for 10 years?
Yep. I think baseball is gonna maybe go a little too far at some point, and they'll have to move back. But it's America's pastime. It's not
Do you
going-
blame the commissioner?
Yeah. Rob Manfred.
You
I
blame
don't.
Manfred?
I don't
'Cause I think he's trying. I think it's
I do too.
tough.
I just think he's very.
Because he's meeting like a collision with.
He's stubborn. He's very stubborn, and that's the issue. You know, you got to be a little bit more like every player right now is like, listen, times are tough. Like going on the free agent market, it's terrifying for
So
guys.
David Price said, and he was like,
Yeah.
screw that.
So I totally understand it. So if I'm Rob Manfred, I just try to listen more. You got to try to be good to the younger audience and apply that. Because as much as like taking 5 minutes off the game and then gaining it year after year, that's not helping anyone.
I agree.
We ready for questions?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, first question is going to be from Dylan.
Yep.
Okay, Dylan's question. Do the Red Sox re-sign Bogarts, or they let him walk and just re-sign Betts and/or JBJ and/or Sale?
Say that again.
All right, I'll break it down for you. All right, Bogarts, is he in or is he out?
Out.
Okay, Betts, in or out?
In.
JBJ, in or out?
Depends on this year with his new swing. You saw that?
I did.
I like it. Looks short. That's what I need from him. I don't want to see that hook and the bat swinging across the entire plate. Please. Short, direct, keep it lined.
Sale, in or out?
In.
I'm not 100% saying in yet because I think they're a little worried about his shoulder.
There was an article on The Athletic, actually. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Ken Rosenthal, who said that the Yankees going after Sale is a very real thing.
I mean, they just re-upped Severino to a great deal.
Yeah.
4 years, $40 million, great
Yeah.
deal.
I think with Sale, the Red Sox, both sides have already said they'd love to keep this going. I think Sale this year wins the Cy Young Award. That
You
doesn't.
think he wins the Cy Young?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I don't know if you've known, but since Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, Monday through Friday, he's been at spring training already.
Oh, yeah?
Since Thanksgiving.
Hey, I hope so. He breathes baseball. He lives baseball.
He's been working with special strengthening for his back, his core, his shoulder. And they're saying, this is probably the most athletic and built Chris Sale that's
I
ever
hope so.
been.
All right, next question's from Jake. Any shot Antonio Brown heads to New England? Any shot? Zero.
It ended today.
I agree. Next question is from Nathaniel. Okay. What do you think it relates to?
Mets.
No.
Knicks?
Yes.
KD?
Yes. All right, thoughts on KD going to the Knicks, this and that. He's basically saying,
It's not impossible.
what are the chances he ends up there?
33%. I don't think that's
I'm
crazy.
going to go 40%.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're all on the same plane. Dolan, no longer.
He's not selling it. No, he's
no
not
longer selling. I think that's a real problem.
Last question is from Nate. If Bryce Harper ends up signing with the Phillies, are they your pick to come out of the NL?
They're very.
He says
real
their
one.
pitching staff is very, quote, very overrated.
I disagree with that.
Ooh, why, Tyler? Give me 2 minutes of why it's not overrated.
Let's
come at Nathaniel's neck.
Okay, let's work down the list here. I think it goes a lot past just the starting rotation, though. Don't get me wrong. It's not the national starting rotation.
So are they your pick to come out of the NL?
Who is my pick? I don't have a pick yet.
Ooh, okay, would they be right now? I'm not saying to make a pick now.
They'd be right there. They're right there. Aaron Nola, Cy Young candidate. We saw,
awesome.
people are in love with him. Jake Arrieta is still
I
very
love
good.
Arrieta.
Zach Eflin's a very solid pitcher. Vincent Velasquez has showed ace stuff at times. It's not by any means the best roster in baseball, but they have a good enough roster where they're going to be very.
I mean, who's
competitive.
coming out of the? It's tough to say. The Dodgers. They went back. They came out of the end of the last 2 years.
How many rotations do you crap on that have a great ace and a great number two?
Not many.
Exactly. That's all it is.
I think Colorado has a realistic shot.
Yeah, I think you look at the Nationals, Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, I think the Nationals are in there too.
I'm not in love with Patrick Corbin, though.
I think the Nationals, if they're somehow able to retain Harper, I think they're right there still.
Yeah, Listen, I think the Phillies themselves, you look across that roster, Hoskins a very good player. I think Andrew McCutchen's still a very serviceable player. Gene Segura is a very good player. JT Realmuto is arguably the best catcher in baseball.
And Harper if he ends up there.
Yeah, dude, it's a very good roster. And you added Daniel Robertson to a very good bullpen that already has Pat Neshek in it, Listen, if you want to hate on the Phillies, it's solely because they're on the way. They're going to be the surprise.
Or they're in your
year.
division.
Yeah. Sir Anthony Dominguez, he's the other one. He pitched 53 games last year with a 2.95 ERA, and he got 16 saves. They have a good team. Do I think they're world beaters? No, but I think they're very good.
No, I think the AL is a lot stronger for
100% agree. But, Odubel Herrera had a down year last year. He's been a very good
I think the AL
player.
has 3.
Nick Williams.
I think the MLB in general, the AL has the top 3 teams, in my opinion. I think order them however you want. Sox, Astros, Yankees.
Yeah. They got
1, 2, 3.
Best teams in baseball.
1, 2, 3. Sox, Yankees, Astros. However you want to list it.
Yeah, no, I 100%.
That's how it is.
I agree down the line with that. They still got Scott Kingery, who they signed to a huge deal, who, they're still carving out a role for him there. Gene Segura is a great shortstop. Maikel Franco finally came back to life last year. Cesar Hernandez is one of the most underrated players in all of baseball.
It seems to me you're picking Phillies.
I like the Phillies, but I don't know if I'm going to lean. I need it's tough, man. I like Gabe Kapler a lot. I like the analytics. Nick Pivetta, I think he needs to take a big step if he's going to be their number 3. But I think the Phillies, as long as they're competitive, they make a move at the deadline. Watch out.
All right, guess we'll find out.
Is that it for Pombo Milliken?
That's all we got today.
Jeez, we were packed with stuff.
Yep.
Just in case you missed it earlier, we have a Pombo Milliken YouTube. The link will be in our bio for Twitter. I'll put it up there. Hopefully, we'll have everything uploaded sometime by Friday.
Let's talk to Brophy.
Yeah, we'll talk. Ben Brophy, greatest producer in the world. But thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep.
Pombo and Milliken, #1 in sports shenanigans for 2 years running. 4 to 7 every Tuesday, right here on 91.5 WMLN. Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.